Raider Nation, what's going on? And happy Raiders Friday happy hour. It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, we're going to be looking at the latest Raiders rumors. We're going to be talking about Gardner Minshew, Aidan O'Connell, Jordan Travis, J.J. McCarthy, Isaiah Pola-Mao, for those that maybe missed some of the news that we broke down yesterday. On top of that, I had a viewer probably about a month ago hit me up on Instagram and give me a really cool idea of a show that I should do. And it was around the idea of, Mitch, could you give me players to target in every single round, at every single pick for the Las Vegas Raiders? So essentially what you guys are going to see coming up here on today's show is I have gone through and I have looked at every single position and I have put down like which player at the edge position would I target at pick 13, 44, 77, 112, 148, 208, and so on and so forth. I did that with every single position in the 2024 NFL Draft. Then on top of that, I'm also going to be looking at some right guards that could potentially start for the Silver and Black this upcoming season, with a lot of unknowns that are out there of who potentially could start at guard. There was a new report that came out today from Sanjeet, which I'll kind of dive into here a little bit, but that is all coming up here on today's live Raiders Report show. So we got March Madness going on. Chugs and I here at the office hanging out with the entire Chat Sports crew, and we want to know, where are you guys watching from? Because there's not many days, not many weekends in general where I feel like so much attention is on one topic, and the big topic right now is March Madness, which we're going to be breaking down some of the games as they continue to go on, especially if they get a little bit close near the end. I just saw that San Diego State ended up taking care of business against UAB, so that's a matchup that, you know, if we would have been live maybe like 5 minutes ago, we could have talked about. But let me know where you guys are watching from right now. What's up?
It's actually pronounced Wob.
Wob?
Yeah, Wob.
That makes me think of, what's that movie? The South Harmon Institute of Technology, where he makes a wad. That's what that made me think of.
Accepted,
yes.
Great movie.
It is a phenomenal. He was like, what are you eating? I'm eating a freaking wad, man. What are you doing? Where are you watching from? Let me know, man. We got Chris. What's up, Chris, from St. George, Utah. SD in the house from Isaac Hernandez. Brian Lance, appreciate to you, my man. Let's go to a dude. Rich Wolf, y'all just saved my Friday. Everything is, I think, what is that? NCAA. There is a lot of March Madness, which, judging by your emoji, means that you're not loving March Madness. I love watching sports. I love watching basketball, which some of the deals that Jeremy and I got going on today are going to be around March Madness. So here they are. If you don't know what the rules are, I'll kind of walk you through it. Every 250 likes that we get, Jeremy and I are going to tell a dad joke. If you laugh to my dad joke, I want you to take a drink. If you laugh to Jeremy's dad joke, I want you to take a drink. Now, if Jeremy tells a joke and I laugh, I got to take a drink. If I tell a joke and Jeremy laughs, he's got to take a drink. What's up, Graf? How you doing, my brother? Every single time somebody sends in a $10 super chat, we get a beer pong shot. Now, for those of you that watched our show a little bit last week for free agency, we did this thing where it was like every single $5 that we got, we had to do jumping jacks at the end of the show. So what Chugs and I have prepared for y'all today is we have a bunch of beer pong cups, if you will. And as you can see, they are filled. I don't know if they can even see how much it's filled with. Well, bottom line is there's about, I want to say it was 9, right? Nine beers in all those cups. So essentially, if somebody sends in a 10 at the end of the show, let's just say we have 30 shots that we have to end up doing. If I make a cup, Jeremy has to chug it, which I would say there's about 3/4 of a beer in one red Solo cup. So that's going to be at the very, very end of today's show, but we're going to rack them all up. $50 super chat is what I like to consider the alley-oop. So every $100 that comes in today, you get entered in our bang competition, and I'll do a beer bong. The alley-oop for March Madness, though, is, let's say, hypothetically speaking, Rebel Montana comes down the lane, throws up a 50. David Zahn throws in another 50. That's an alley-oop. That's a beer bong. Plus, both of those people get entered in our March Bang Race competition. So it's a little 2-for-1 action with March Madness going on. I mean, if you're like, I already know if he's here today, 93 Nabman's been hitting me up. He's like, yo, we're going to be drinking some beers on Friday. You're damn right we're going to be drinking some beers on Friday. So shout out to all the real ones that are always tuning into our Raiders Friday happy hour. Much, much appreciated. I already see Joseph. I see Rebel, Mark, Dan, Can't Control, Mr. Zahn. What is up, Mr. Zahn? Mount Raider Moore legend. And I don't know if it's Casper or the ghost of Jeremy. It's too bad. I was going to say, without the green screen, you look dead.
Yeah.
You look dead.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to figure out a light situation, which I think we can do.
Well, they've already started it in the other studios. Sam has been putting producer lights on.
Oh, I mean.
So I think he's going to hang one right here. It's going to go right here.
Bingo.
Or next guy we hire, he just holds 2 lights.
Imagine. That would be brutal. What's your job? Light man. Light man.
So we've asked everybody, like, who do you want to draft? Who do you want to draft? I'm going to ask you this question. Name a player you do not want the Raiders to draft in round 1. Let me know who that player is. Is there somebody who you're like, I'm going to break a hole in my wall if they draft this player in round 1?
I have my name.
I think I know it.
I think you know it too. And I think a lot of people watching this show probably know who that name is. I see Azu's going to go with Penix, Bo Nix from Rich Wolf, Arnold from Tyler McMillan, which I think's kind of big. Caleb Williams from Big Luck. So I think with Big Luck, what he's saying there is you would trade all the way up to number 1, which honestly at this point, to get the number 1 pick away from Chicago, I legitimately think it would cost you 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, or 3 second-round picks, 3 third-round picks,
and your firstborn son,
Devontae Adams, and maybe Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Some people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, like that's how much it's probably going to cost for you to get the number 1 pick right now."
Martin says George Halani. Don't even know who that is. So I would be pissed if they did draft that person.
I agree.
They drafted a guy named George Halani.
Yep.
Round 1.
I agree. I'd almost say I'd almost rather you, like, I'm thinking like a Damon Arnett.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Jonathan Abram.
And also, let me preface this. This is like realistic. This is like realistic. Like, this is like if they took punter at pick 13.
That would be upsetting.
If they took a punter, pick 13.
If they took a punter at pick number 13, Mark Davis fires Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco on the spot. I mean, you'd have to. Yeah, it would literally, there should be an investigation for sabotage.
Ray Javon says Chugs if they drafted, which I actually wouldn't be upset. I would love that contract. I mean, if they drafted Mitch at pick 13, I'd be a little upset. 1, I'd be jealous because he'd be a member of the Las Vegas Raiders. But 2, I'd be like, what are you doing?
I'll make you
Michael Penix was there.
I'll make you a deal. If I get drafted at number 13 overall this year to the Raiders,
I'll run a marathon. I'll run 2 marathons in the same day.
I was going to say I'll give you half of my contract, but
that too.
Okay. Only if you can complete both marathons, though, in 1 day. I don't think that's even possible.
John said Chugs. George Halani is the Boise State running back.
There you go. There you go.
There you have it.
What up, Mickey Camacho? As always, if you guys want to get those questions, comments up here on screen, please use hashtag Raiders or you can super chat. That way we can answer all of these. My game plan today is that we're going to be live probably for about 2 hours in total. Obviously, if Friday shenanigans happen, which I saw Zahn here earlier, but I think he's driving, and Zahn and Abjin and the entire crew kicked my ass last Friday, so not that I'm not hoping, but I am a lot more prepared today. So as far as I'm concerned, bring it on, man. Bring it on.
Miggy.
What up, Miggy? Happy Friday, Mitch and Chugs. Cheers to the chat. Cheers to my man, Miggy Camacho, always tuning in. Always here for a good time on the Raiders Report. Camacho, real one. Oh, I actually forgot about this. Also on top of today, we got 16 duck races to do for March Madness. We're going to be doing I want to say it's the Oakland and Brockton regions today. Is that correct? So we're going to do 4 races, get into a segment. 4 races, get into a segment. 4 races, segment, 4 races. And then I'm guessing we're going to have a few shots that we're going to have to put up here for beer pong. So time will tell.
We have none so far.
And that's fine.
So, we might be good.
We might get off scot-free.
We might Brett scot-free.
Brett scot-free. Elias just got a call with a new job offer. Wanted to come on here and celebrate with the nation.
Hell yeah.
I was going to say, did you get the job offer? If the answer's no, then you didn't get the job yet. But congratulations on the new job offer, man. I think it's one of those things where I can remember the day I got hired here. And I mean, I can remember the day I got hired at a lot of different jobs it's a really good feeling.
I remember the day I thought I got hired here.
Yeah, I can remember my second interview with you. That was an interesting one.
Oh.
It's this guy again.
So.
Sure.
What were you saying earlier?
So, we already talked about everything that we were going to talk about today. So, how's the weather?
Junior.
What up, Junior?
This is a hilarious profile pic. I don't know if you can see it.
I see nuclear bomb and shopping with Buzz Lightyear's face. Yikes. If the Raiders trade up to 4, what are the chances Jayden Daniels could just say no to 2 and 3 during the draft night? Just an idea to throw out there. I would say check out the video that I made yesterday. It was kind of around the idea of what needs to happen for Jayden to be available at pick number 4, and he's talking about the Arizona Cardinals. Their GM yesterday said that essentially they would be open to the idea of trading the number 4 pick, which is kind of the first time that we've heard this offseason that a team would be willing to move on from one of their picks. It's not very likely. I mean, everything that I have heard is that the Commanders are probably going to take him at pick number 2, which I know what I've said before, which is like, are the rumors true that Jayden doesn't want to play for the Commanders? That's a question that I don't know if it's even been answered yet, but a lot of stuff needs to happen for the Raiders to get Jayden Daniels, man. Let's go to Ray. Chugs, I only say you because we need you here, my man.
That makes me feel a lot better.
So all I saw was basically, F you, Mitch. We only need Chugs. That's how I read it.
Well, no, he was saying he would be pissed if I got drafted by the Raiders.
Well, but he's also saying he wouldn't be pissed if I was drafted by the Raiders.
Well, maybe you might be able to help the team.
No. If I can help this team, then we have a bad team. I will admit this, though. If I got drafted at number 13 overall, I would say my job security is pretty good. I'm going to be relaying a lot of information back here.
Oh, we are going to be
a lot of information.
The most intel-driven Raiders channel on the planet, if that happens. I'm getting text at halftime from Mitch if he's getting drafted.
Dude.
Yo, you won't believe what he just said.
What up, Rebel? BYU, SC, Kentucky. My bracket destroyed. First, second, last. So you're telling me, how far did you take them?
He's saying first to last.
Oh, first to last.
Like he was doing good until those games, and now he's like last place in our bracket.
I picked BYU to lose. I picked South Carolina to lose. And I'm really mad at myself because when we were live here on this show one day, I was like, I'm picking Oakland to beat Kentucky. Do you remember that? And I was like,
yes.
We're gonna do Oakland watch parties. And I wasn't man enough. I wasn't man enough to go with my gut.
You also found out that Oakland wasn't in California.
Correct. Again, I'm not a geography major here, which I didn't even know there was an Oakland, Michigan. I will say this. If it would have been Oakland, California, and they would have beat, I would have been really mad at myself. The fact that it's Michigan, I'm not as upset. What up, Silver Surfer? If no quarterback at 13, cornerback Quinyon Mitchell.
I like Quinyon Mitchell over Terrion Arnold, but everything that Mitch has heard and everything that we've kind of talked about is that the Raiders are more keen on Terrion Arnold than Quinyon Mitchell. They feel like he's a better fit.
Yeah, and I think it's more of like the mentality that he brings to the field, the versatility that he's going to be able to do. I think Quinyon Mitchell will be a hell of a pick. Like, I'm telling you right now, if Arnold's on the board and the Raiders end up going with Mitchell, 1, sounds like a jersey that I have to get. 2, it would be a really solid fit for this team. I mean, he has played very well at every spot that he's had to go to. I get it, he played at Toledo, but then when he was at the Senior Bowl, he was the best player there. And those are the type of things that really stick out.
Imagine he gets drafted and his jersey number is 365.
I mean, I got 36. What would be the closest thing we could get?
36, and then somebody else is 5, and I just wear that.
It's just him standing next to Divine Diablo.
Somebody with the last name Renz gets drafted,
likely.
And they're number 5, and then it's Mitchell Renz.
Outside of my family, I've never met somebody with the last name Renz.
Same. I've never met anybody with the last name Chugs.
I couldn't agree more. What up, Ray? Mitch, can you throw the ball? Drafted. I can throw a ball. It's just not a football. I got tiny hands, man. For NFL players, I got tiny hands. I think I got average size hands for normal human beings, though I already know if I do the hand testing.
I feel like I have massive feet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
What size shoe do you wear?
These I want to say are 10.5 or 11. My cleats I would always have to wear a little bit bigger, but I think these are 10.5, 11s.
Yeah.
Why? What are you?
13.
13? Yeah, those are pretty big feet. I know. I think Chase has got ridiculously big feet and hands. Yeah, I don't know. Does that make you a kicker?
All I know is they're big, and Zahn loves them.
Your feet are gross. What up, John?
Zahn's like that guy from Nickelodeon, and I'm just one of the actors, and he's like, let me see them feet. Let me see them feet.
I still got to watch that. I think I'm going to try to watch it this weekend, though.
You and Alex should.
Yeah? It's just, I will say, like, that kind of shit creeps me out. It really does. Like, it could ruin a show for me.
It will. If you watched any of those shows growing up, The Amanda Show.
I love The Amanda Show.
Creepy.
Yeah, there's a lot more than dancing lobsters going on, I hear. What up, John? Mitch, now that my dream scenario is gone, Fields quarterback 1, Chewy quarterback 2, AOC number 3, now I want Fuaga at 13 or Mitchell, Bama corner in that order. I will say this. The fact that Fields was your dream scenario, I do kind of question that a little bit. Like, I would, dream bigger, John. You can do it. Chewy quarterback 2, I'm guessing that's Gardner Minshew. We'll talk about Minshew and Aidan O'Connell a little bit today, which nothing really new has come out about them, but somebody did say something in regards to the quarterback battle, so I'll kind of give my 2 cents on it. And to me, it really comes down to what the Raiders think of Thayer Munford, and that's how I'll end this one. Like, if they legitimately think that Munford can compete at a high level and be a right tackle, then I don't know if Fuaga is going to be an option. If they look at the offensive line and go, well, I actually think that, maybe Munford's better at guard, or maybe he's better and we can put Parham at right guard and we can kick Munford over to the left side. Like, I'll kind of get into a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, but to me, if the Raiders are like, no, we're good at right tackle with Thayer Munford, I don't really see why they would draft Fuaga, though I love me some Talisi Fuaga. What up, Mario? Mitch, using the chat, assemble you an O-line. So I got to use the chat. Well, I guess I'm going to go with Mario here at center. Based off of the limited knowledge that I have on each person that is watching this show right now, I would say then let's go with, if I could take Chugs, I would like to be able to take Chugs.
I'm a pulling guard.
All right, let's go with Big Luck. Big Luck's going to be a guard. His name's Big, and judging by the picture, it looks like a guard.
He's left guard.
Oh, dude.
Give me Mario at left tackle, me at right guard.
Okay.
We have Miggy Camacho at right tackle.
Okay.
And then give me Rebel at center.
Rebel would be a sneaky center.
He's always calling stuff out. He's the guy who's calling out, like, hey, right here, Mike, kind of the guy in the center,
Yeah, Big Luck said met y'all in Vegas. See, I feel like we got to get. I would love to be able to figure out a Raiders report, like football team. Like, could we build one?
We've gotten a lot of super chats so far. No beer pong shots though.
No beer pong shots.
I don't want to lower it down to 5, but
if we did, I'd be worried for us.
Yeah.
Though, how many shots do you think you're gonna make?
All of them.
You're gonna make every single one?
Every single one. Caesar, first-time super chatter. I've been watching you guys for a little over a year. You guys crack me up like an egg. Could you guys shout out the Oregon Raider fans? #Mexican Express. Shout out to the Oregon Raider fans.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I know there's a lot of Raider fans out there in Oregon. I was actually saying probably about a month ago on this show that one of the states that I really want to try to get out to, just like in the next 5 years or so, would be Oregon. So if I ever get that opportunity, I'll make sure to let you guys know, and maybe we get together here a little bit.
Also, check your phone really quick. While you're checking that, let me know. We're about to do 4 races in our March Madness bracket, but is your bracket already busted? We know Rebel's bracket is totally busted. It's like a teenager on a weekend by himself. Busted.
What?
Like party. He's having a party. He's busted.
Party and he's busted.
No.
No, I get it. I get it.
Is your bracket busted? Have you busted yet?
Busted. All right, this is what I see. So, also, Cameron, I saw something from yesterday as well, which, to be honest with you, I actually don't even think that we got it. So, we're going to do this. So, this is how we're going to do this with Cameron here. We're going to do, one of them is, you already know, the boot. And then what also we're going to do is we're going to put some shots for the beer pong at the end of the game. Does that make sense?
I think so.
I'll kind of walk you guys through it because one of these, Cameron, we banged yesterday for Cameron only once, to my knowledge, right? We only did it once.
I think so.
I am looking at my phone now, and he banged twice yesterday, and because I wasn't checking Venmo, I didn't see it.
Yeah, you did.
So because of that, Lord Cameron Abbott is here to get this party started. I want y'all to spam LCA because Lord Cameron Abbott. Bang! What up, LCA? Lord Cameron Abbott. Which means the first boot of the day is going to be coming up here in just a second. And also the way that I'm going to do this, Cameron, which obviously it's your call, but I just wanted to be able to show people what I was thinking was we're going to count one as the boot, and then we're going to count the other one hundo that you ended up sending in as 10 shots at the very end of today's show for the beer pong.
Take one down, pass it around.
If you're good with that. I see Juan Hernandez, which also, Juan Hernandez, happy birthday if my memory serves me correct. HBD's down below. Martin, what up? EG, Mr. Zon. I see Caleb down there in the chat. Sienna, can't control. Also, Will Clapp.
I'm going to leave you with this
with the Bills.
Whenever I get back, these are the races that are going down, Mitch.
Sounds good. All right, so remember, it is March Madness. We had you guys enter a March Madness bracket here at the Raiders Report. It was $50 buy-in. Winner ends up getting $1,600. So we did 16 games, races yesterday. We got another 16 to go today. So how's this going to work? We're going to get duck races, 30 seconds on the clock. Patrick B is going to go up against Matthew. Randall Carter up against Finesse Lounge. So Chug's going to go fill up my boot for me. Shout out to Cameron Abbott. If you're wondering, Mitch, why are you doing a boot? Two reasons. One, it's Friday, which means Friday happy hour. I let my hair down here a little bit, put the drinking pants on, and we're ready to party. Also, if I'm rocking your jersey, you throw in a $100, I'll do a boot here on the house. So shout out to freaking Cameron Abbott, man, who has been balling out recently on this show, and he was also one of the MVPs last month, or was the MVP, I guess I should say, last month. He's been, he's got a very valuable P. It's a very, very valuable P here for Lord Cameron Abbott.
He's like the most MVP-ness person in the chat.
Wow. That's, I think it slipped out. And what you said. All right, once Chugs gets back up here on the mic, I'm going to knock back a boot here. Then we're going to get into this first matchup, and Zon won his one matchup. Trivan lost. Will Patrick B Mount Raidermore? Let's see how Mount Raidermore does.
Wow. So we
far,
have
1-1.
We have 4 races to start off our show. First, Patrick B versus Matthew Lozano.
Oh, wait. I don't mean to cut you off, but Venom. What's up?
Then we have Randall Carter versus Finesse Lounge. And then we also have Misty Williamson going up against Troy Williams, the Williams battle. Williams' son, and then we have Williams. So Williams' son and Williams. And we have Adriano Martinez and Mike Van Leuven. Gonna be a good set of matchups to start off our show today. As
oh, it's spicy. That's a spicy meatball.
That is one spicy meatball.
Ooh, man.
We have the cross.
Tennessee or Florida? Oh,
I think
okay.
Florida State QBs.
I'm not going to lie. I literally read this as like March Madness mode. I was like, I don't think that they're playing. Tennessee or the Florida QB? I think Florida State QB is what you mean.
Yeah.
I guess it depends when you end up taking them. If I got to pick between the two, I'm going to go Jordan Travis over Joe Milton every day of the week. Yeah, Petey doesn't like it. I will say this, though. If the Raiders wanted to incorporate kind of like which I always get worried saying this, but what's the formation? It's totally escaping my mind right now. Oh, my God. Where the quarterback power run. It's like I guess wildcat, but that's not the right word I'm looking for.
Like a running quarterback? Like Taysom Hill?
Yeah, I mean, Taysom Hill is the idea behind it, but if you try to run an offense where it's like with the quarterback, you're still just going to run. I guess it's a wildcat. Like if you were a team that wanted to incorporate 5 plays a game in that, then maybe Joe Milton would be your guy. However, if you're legitimately thinking that Milton's going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, or even like I don't even think Milton's good enough to be a backup QB in the NFL. I mean, if somebody wants to take the chances on the athletic gifts, sure. However, I mean he's not even in the same realm as Anthony Richardson, which I feel like a lot of people just think he is. He's got a strong arm, though. I'll give him that.
Frank the Tank, thank you for the super chat.
Frank, appreciate it.
Rich Wolf, I heard Damian Lillard watches the show. Facts?
Yeah. I've heard it from a few people, but I also wouldn't be surprised just because he is a big-time Raider fan, and I was literally just saying to them, like, I was talking to Graf the other day, and he's like, damn, like, Graf was like, I can't believe John Cena watches my show, and it's one of those things where...
Oh, John Cena watches Graf's show?
Yeah, which... Maybe he watches this one too, since I'm guessing that means he's a Raiders fan.
And his name's John Cena!
Dun, 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 dun. However, I do think it's one of those things, though, where, like, if you're a fan of a team and you want to, like, know about that team, I mean, Dame's got the Raiders logo tatted on him.
I mean, R.I.P. Bray Wyatt used to watch.
Yeah, Bray. Bray was an OG watcher, too. Like, Bray used to watch when we had, like, 10K subs. Like, I can remember... It would have been like 3.5, 4 years ago. I got a DM and a follow, and I saw the blue check mark, and it was like, who is this? And I was like, 1.2 million? And I was like, Bray Wyatt. And then I think I told you.
And I was like, bro, are you serious?
Yeah.
And you were like, you know who that is? And I was like, of course.
Oh, yeah.
He's the Fiend.
So that was pretty cool. What up, Mark? Appreciate you tuning in, my man.
All right, we have our first matchup of the day. 1 seed Patrick B. Going up against number 16 seed Matthew Lozano.
This is going to be an intriguing race. Though, are those jetpacks?
Those are jetpacks.
Okay, they're jetpacks. Here we go. We got 3 more races to do, and then we're going to get into some Raiders content.
I didn't even realize this. The clouds behind them are moving.
It's a windy day.
Maybe.
It's a windy day. So wait, I'm guessing Bijan doesn't have a perfect bracket anymore.
Oh.
Heartbreaking. 19 for 20. Still very impressive. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Let's ride. All right, I will say these jetpacks are shitty, and actually now they're taking off here a little bit.
Dude, are they like powered by this?
I'm not really sure what they are. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me, I mean...
It's very rickety.
Yeah, this is a sketchy race.
It does not look like a very safe
If they
jetpack.
If you know how like there's Lime scooters?
Yeah.
If they invented Lime jetpacks, would you do it?
I don't know. 5 seconds left.
Patrick B is with the lead, but I feel like Lozano's got to come back in him. He does not.
Wow.
Patrick B with the win. I think I just heard Patrick B say, suck it, Tri-Van. I think I heard that underneath his breath. I think that's what I heard. Patrick B with the win.
Wow. Patrick
Survive
B.
in advance. Patrick B, it wasn't a pretty game. You led most of it, but you came out with a dub, which is the most important thing. Most important thing.
All right, next up. It's gonna
Randall Carter.
Randall Carter.
Up against Finesse Lounge, which we're going to do the round of 32 games next week at some point. We might end up doing them on Monday or Tuesday. Because I think, the round of 32 games are tomorrow and Sunday, right? I got a thumbs up. So, I got a lot of people mad at me at Chat Sports because I know nothing about college basketball, and my bracket's not bad. My bracket hasn't been doing bad. How are you doing in the chat sports bracket?
Well, I'm a dummy and I made multiple brackets, and the one I entered for chat sports is by far my worst.
Damn, brutal. What about you?
Mine was okay.
90 percentile for Brett.
Wow.
Though Brett's one of those people, he gets a 90 and he's not happy about it. So
I've never been good.
no,
It doesn't really matter until the end.
of
Yeah.
course. As long as you pick the winner, you got a shot.
Yeah.
If you don't pick a winner, it doesn't matter. All right, here we go. Finesse Lounge up against Kata.
Patrick
What?
B put it, survive in advance.
Survive in advance. I said it. It's all matters. Survive in advance, baby.
6 times.
All right, we got the 9 versus 8 seed. These fish look like they're ready to go.
I know. I think Lounge has got it. He's offsides. Lounge is clearly offsides right now.
You know you and Tom are tied for the lead.
Really? I had no idea. Here we go. 3 and well, I'll tell you what. That's a false start if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, Finesse Lounge starting out ahead is kind of wild.
Though, if you caught one of these fish,
I'd throw it back.
immediately throwing it back. Carter looks like you'd get herpes from eating that fish. Too far? All right, definitely a skin rash. Here we go, 9 seconds, and I might have doubted him.
Carter!
Is Randall going to have enough to come back? Or is Finesse Lounge going to be it? No! Randall Carter, the
Wow.
8 and 9 seed. It was a close one. I mean, Finesse for the majority of that game was leading, and then Randall just wanted it more.
Tyler McMillan said, I thought it was Jermaine Illuminor because he was offsides.
Yikes. I mean, false start on Jermaine. Randall Carter, I mean, that was like Northwestern right there. Just a little bit of a collapse there by Finesse. I expected a little bit more, which means our updated bracket is Patrick B. advances. Randall Carter advances. Coming up next here is going to be Misty Williamson up against Troy Williams, followed by OC Raider and Mike Van Leuven. Is OC here in the building? Oh, boy. Is OC here in the building? What up, Martin? What up, Yoda? What up, Brave Raider? I know some of y'all are tuning in right now watching. This is our Raiders Report March Madness bracket. After this, we're going to get into some actual Raiders content, don't worry. But we do have a lot of duck races to get to today. I don't know if I've ever seen this. Legitimately?
This one was labeled Heroes. I think to avoid copyright, it's like the Temu version of like Marvel superheroes.
Oh, I guess. I'm thrown off by the dog.
I don't know.
What is the dog?
I don't know.
All right, here we go. Misty against Troy. I mean, I'm sorry. This is interesting.
It said superheroes. I don't know.
Yep, they look super, all right. Misty got a little bit of a lead here at halftime. I'm going to say up by about 3 points. I don't know if they know that they're supposed to finish the race. Oh, wait a minute. Did Troy, though, blow his load a little bit too early? He's got a huge lead. I think he's just... Oh, that was a blowout. Troy Williams. And the dog's back.
I
don't know what that dog and Troy Williams are doing, but we got to get that off screen. That's a violation of something. That is the dog-eat-dog world right there. Troy Williams advances. Misty, better luck next year. Tyler McMillan, what is this? What up, Vincenzo?
All right. So we have OC Raider.
Yeah, that was UConn against Stetson in that one. Sorry, Misty. Now we got Mike Van Leuven going up here against Adriano Martinez. Oh, Raider Nation 253 is going to add an extra shot to the end. Remember, every 10 that we get here on today's show means that we're going to do a beer pong shot. We got about 9 beers over there. If I make a beer pong cup, that means Jeremy has to drink one. If Jeremy makes it, then I got to drink one. We got 11 shots. Well, we get 11 beer pong shots. 11 shots. I mean,
all right.
What is Leuven rocking with? He's got a crane?
Yeah, these are trucks.
Obviously.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Got a Lakers truck up against Mike Van.
They got off to a fast start.
A heavy foot there by Mike Van Leuven. That reminds me like a Mario Kart when you time it perfectly, you get the early jump.
Yeah.
But you know what? You can't count out OC Raider. OC is an OG type of watcher here.
I don't like where OC's at.
I don't like
right
where
now.
OC's at either, but if I can get a honk. Come on, OC. Come on, Van Leuven. I want this to come down to the wire. I think it is. Dude, I think OC's going to have enough. I think OC's going to have enough. Oh, man, he does.
Wow.
Dude, that was really close, man. That was really, really close. Holy shit. Which means it's going to be OC Raider, a.k.a. Adriano Martinez, going to be going up against Troy Williams in the round of 32. So those are the first 4 races that we did. We're going to get into a Raiders segment. The next 4 races that we'll end up doing are going to be
the other half of the Oakland region.
The other half of the Oakland region. Can we go to it real quick?
Yeah.
The other half of the Oakland region, which that'll probably be in about 25, 30 minutes.
Some good matchups here. Miggy, who's in the chat right now. Nico Laz.
Yep.
Jose Delgado. LA Crash Dog. Robert Price, a.k.a. 93 Navman.
A.k.a. 93 Navman. Yeah, there's a lot of big hitters in the Oakland region. Looking at this bracket now, a lot of big names. A lot of big names.
The bracket makers must have really stacked this region.
Yeah, I mean, it's Oakland. You got to stack it. If it's the Oakland region, you got to try to stack it here.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, we got 500 people here in the building. If you haven't already, make sure you click that like button. Coming up next here, we're going to get into some Raiders news and some rumors. What up, Raider Nation 253? Raiders! Been watching you guys for a long time. Love all the content y'all put out. I can't wait for the season to start. Mad Max and Wilkins are going to go off this season. So I asked you this before, and I want to ask y'all this as well. How many combined sacks for Wilkins and Crosby this upcoming season? How many combined sacks?
Over under 23. 23 and a half. So it's a...
Honestly, I would take the over on that just because I still think Wilkins is going to be around 7-8 sacks. And I literally think Crosby is going to break the record this year for the Raiders. Like, I think Max is getting 17.
You think he's getting 17?
At least. I mean, he's never had the amount of talent that he's going to have around him this year. He's never had the amount of talent.
I will say, and I want to have everybody temper their expectations because this isn't me saying Christian Wilkins isn't good because he's an amazing defensive tackle.
Correct.
But it is uncommon for defensive tackles to get continued success getting sacks year over year.
I agree.
Like a defensive tackle that's really good gets 5 or 6 sacks usually.
Yeah.
Like this past year, 9 sacks is more than he's had in the past 2 years combined.
I think it depends also what type of system you run, but I mean, I hear you loud and clear. I think the other part it's going to be is there's going to be a lot of competition for Max and Wilkins. Like, they're going to be on the field, don't get me wrong. However, though, if you're an offensive coordinator, you're like, I'm not going to allow Max and Wilkins to beat me, which is going to open up more opportunities for the other guys.
K-Rock says, how is Tyree going to develop? I shot my shot early. And everybody that's watching, you need to back me up in the middle of the season whenever I'm saying this is what I said way back in March. I said that the second leading sack getter on the Raiders this season is going to be Tyree Wilson, and he's going to get double-digit sacks.
I'll tell you what, man. I hope that you're right on it. Double digits still a lot. I know that he's going to be a lot better than what he was last season.
I'm telling you, him moving to the 3 technique, I think Wilkins is going to be more on the inside, which is going to hurt him in his sack numbers. But I think the second best defensive lineman on the Raiders isn't going to be Christian Wilkins. It's going to be Tyree Wilson this year. Book it.
I hope so, because if Tyree Wilson's that good, bro, I'm telling you right now, that's a Super Bowl caliber defense.
I think so. Raider Nation 253, Raiders! Been watching you guys for a long time. Love all the content you put out. I can't wait for this season to start. Mad Max and Wilkins are going off this season. Did you already read it?
Yep. Hence why I asked how many sacks for Mad Max and Wilkins combined. It's all right. Hey, 2 for 1. 2 for 1 for Raider Nation. Anthony Parks, how can I get my picture up? Are you talking about the bracket? Was Anthony one of the next ones up on the bracket? I don't remember. We got a lot of big matchups coming up here. I don't know.
Yep.
He is?
Against Miggy.
Oh, Anthony Parks. How can Anthony? If you win, we will put your picture in. I'll just send it to you. That way we have it. Anthony Parks.
And David, you hit the nail on the head right there. You don't need Wilkins to necessarily get sacks. You need him to get a couple guys trying to block him. You need him to stand there and get a couple guys on him so you can get one-on-ones with other guys.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this year, man. And defensively, the Raiders are going to be solid.
Before we get started, one more time, because we only have one beer pong shot, and that's kind of effed up that Mitch is going to get the one beer pong shot, and I don't have any. So,
well, technically, Cameron wanted some as well.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so it's technically we have 11 shots.
Oh. Well, it's effed up that Mitch gets one more shot than I do. So if one more person can, at least one more person send in a 10 so I can get a couple more shots up. Yeah, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym?
Wasn't with me.
Yeah, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I got to play a little beer pong yesterday or last weekend. I didn't play well. I played okay. It wasn't my best game. But I feel good now. I feel good. I feel like I got a little bit of a shoot in. I'll be ready for
It's
this.
all in the follow-through. It's all in the follow-through. This is what's coming up on today's show. Are we good to follow the order or?
Yeah, we could stick to the order today. I think that's probably fine. Probably all right.
Zahn saying 30 sacks between the two of them, between Wilkins and Crosby.
That's a lot of sacks.
I mean,
it's a lot.
If that's the case, I think Crosby's getting 23 sacks. Because I think Wilkins is good. I think he's one of the best defensive tackles this year. I just think he's not going to beat his sack record last year. I think he's going to get, his career high last year of 9 sacks. I think he's going to get around 6 sacks, 7 sacks, which might be a little underwhelming, but I think you're going to see him getting a lot of tackles in the middle of the defense on run plays. Like, his run defense is really underrated.
He's a phenomenal football player. I can't wait to see
I think he gets like 6 sacks, but he'll still get like 12, 13 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
On like getting the running back up the middle.
Now, Yoda Jenkins, you're right. The D is going to be strong, no doubt. All right. Hang on a second. According to Ian Rappaport, for Daniel Jeremiah's show on NFL Plus, I joined Move the Sticks to break down how badly the Raiders or Broncos want to trade up for a quarterback. Which, it's obvious that both of those teams picking at 12 and 13, right back to back, rivals.
You trying to trade?
Trying to trade up. Dude, I can't wait to see what the Raiders do in the draft.
Trade.
Just a little one. That's all you need. Just a little sprinkle of a trade coming in here. All right, Chuggy Bull, you ready to get this thing going?
I'm ready to get this thing going.
Let's get this show on the road here, and then after the latest news and rumors around the silver and black, we will then also get into 4 more duck races.
2 more shots.
2 more shots here from Cameron Abbott. What up, Cameron? Raiders! If Jaden falls to pick 4, I believe the Raiders will try and pull the trigger. Arnold at 13 if that doesn't happen, but depends on how much of a cost for 4. So, Cameron, what I would say is check out the video that I put out yesterday, which I'm pretty sure that you were
Did you put
here
it out
yesterday,
or was that?
I put it out yesterday, right after live. Go check it out. I put out 3 trade ideas that I think it would cost to get up to pick number 4, and this is going to be the thing that people just got to understand. It's a supply and demand, and right now the demand for quarterbacks and the demand for those top picks, it's going to be very, very high. So to me, I legitimately think if the Raiders wanted to go from 13 up to 4, it's going to cost you 3 first-round picks. And I think that all it would cost would be like a 2024, 2025, 2026. Yep. Or you could do a few other trades. I would say go check out the video that I did yesterday. I kind of outlined it in a lot more depth of some trades that it could potentially cost. But it's going to be expensive, man. It's going to be very, very expensive. And that's just because a lot of teams want to go up and get a QB.
That's so expensive. Eric, start Gardner this year, Radler, 3rd round to start in 2025.
Potentially. I know that Gardner and Aidan, they're going to battle it out here a little bit. We'll kind of talk about it here on today's show, which is the first thing that's going to be coming up here on the Raiders Report. So let's get into these news and rumors. You ready?
I'm ready, but actually,
we're
7 likes away from 250 likes. Can we just get 7 more likes? 7 people. There's over 560 people watching right now. Can we get 7 more likes? 7 more likes.
We can. Buckethead said, we need a spoof March Madness segment from you guys ranking B-ball players the Raiders could target. What's funny about that, Buckethead, is I actually thought about doing like a jokingly video around if I were to build a Raiders starting 5 for March Madness, who would it be? And realistically, I'd take Devontae because I know he can shoot. I've seen Max ball. He can ball. I put Colton in at center because he's just a gigantic human being. After that, though, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I would need a point guard, a facilitator. Phil Z said, add a shot.
Add a shot.
That's 12. I would need a facilitator. Who do you think is the quickest player on the Raiders to distribute? Who do you think that would be?
Not AOC.
Trey Tucker at point guard would be interesting. That could be an interesting one, though. He's kind of tiny.
OC, did you see the Bo Nix Colin Cowherd interview today? I was impressed.
I'll have to go watch it.
And
I go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, I mean, I've seen the Bo Nix tape, and I don't care what interviews he does. I don't care what he does at pro days. I don't care anything. I've seen my Bo Nix tape. At this point, if you're changing your opinion that much, it's because you didn't have a very good opinion and you weren't really watching a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... I'm just not going to be a Bo Nix guy.
We're going to get into the latest news and rumors. Quick dad joke before we get going because we did hit 250 likes.
Okay.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef. Does that mean you drink? Because I knew that one. Give me another one.
Give you another one?
Yeah, I already knew that one.
Okay.
Or do you want me to look up my dad joke?
I got it. I got it.
I mean, that was like, you had that one ready to go.
Why do dads usually carry around an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
I don't know.
In case they get a hole in one.
I mean, that makes sense. All right, how about this? Which bear is the most condescending?
Polar bear?
A panda. I thought that one was really funny.
All right, we're getting into the latest Raiders news and rumors here on the show.
Bro, I almost started laughing when I first read that. It's a challenge for me. It's a challenge. Oh, man.
All right, here we go.
At least Rob thought it was funny. James, I know.
All right, brother. Ready to start it?
Not this again. Coming up, the latest news and rumors here around the Las Vegas Raiders.
Special reporters, special plays.
Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to get into the latest on J.J. McCarthy, Jordan Travis, Aidan O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, and Isaiah Pola-Mao. A lot of things have happened around the Silver and Black over the past 24 hours, and on today's show, I literally just want to keep you up to date on everything that has happened because I don't know about y'all, I've been watching a lot of March Madness, and you might have missed a few things. First thing was, I made a video on this yesterday that the Las Vegas Raiders have re-signed safety Pola-Mao, which I thought was a really good move. This was a young player that can do a lot of different things for you. He can play safety. He can come up, play linebacker, can play box. Like, he can do a lot of different things for a Patrick Graham system. I was a little bit nervous that Las Vegas would not be able to bring him back just for the simple sake of could he potentially join his uncle, Kennedy Pola-Mao, who was the Raiders running back coach last season, who's now with the Seattle Seahawks. In terms of depth, and I'm really giving a lot of credit here to Telesco because one of the things that he said was he wants to do a good job of keeping his own. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, the Raiders didn't keep Josh Jacobs. It was the smart move to not pay Jacobs the amount of money that the Packers gave him. But for the Raiders, you were able to bring back Andre James. You're able to bring back John Jenkins, Adam Butler. You bring back a guy like Isaiah Pola-Mao. Some of the moves that they're bringing back might not be splashy, but they're very solid moves here by the Raiders, and I think Telesco deserves a lot of credit there. If you're looking for Raiders news, updates, coverage, wall-to-wall, every single day, we got you covered here on this channel. Hit that subscribe button. turn on those notifications. That way, every time we drop a vid, you don't miss it. I know how much content there is out there, and I appreciate when people take time out of their day to watch our content, and I take even more pride in the fact that people take that second to click subscribe. It helps me. It's how we put a roof over our head. It's how we turn the lights on, food on our table. So if you want to continue to support us, big thing you could do is subscribe. All right, let's get in here to the latest on Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy, because today is Michigan's pro day, and even though Telesco and Antonio Pierce are not in attendance, I did find it notable that Raiders quarterback coach Rich Scangarillo and offensive line coach James Craig were there. I expect McCarthy to be a top 10 pick, and the more and more rumors that continually flow out there are like, hey, could the Raiders get McCarthy? Could McCarthy end up going in the top 10? I mean, there's some people that think he's going to go in the top 4 picks, and it just depends how you evaluate quarterback, because if you let him sit, and I'll call it doing the Jordan Love thing, which there's been so many quarterbacks that have sit for a year or two, then maybe McCarthy could be the right guy in the right system. I don't really think it's what the Raiders should do, because that means you're rolling with Gardner or Aidan for this upcoming season, which I've already said I don't really want to do. But McCarthy does have some leadership traits, which are very important to have at a QB. But overall, the skill set is not a quarterback that I personally believe that you should target in round 1, let alone in the top 10 picks of the 2024 NFL draft. And I've given my 2 cents on this. I've talked about McCarthy time and time again. A lot of people have him as like I said, top 4 quarterback in this year's draft. He is number 5 on my rankings list, behind Michael Penix Jr. and behind the top 3. But like when I do this show, I don't want to just give y'all my opinion, right? I like to see what y'all have to say, and I'm also going to tell you what some other people in the industry have to say about McCarthy. So if you were the GM, okay, if you're Telesco, you take a step in his shoes. Should the Raiders draft McCarthy if he's there at pick number 13? Everybody thinks that he's going to be gone before 13, but if he's there on the board, quarterback's obviously a big-time team need here. I want you to type D for draft, type P for pass, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on a later date. And after this YouTube ad break, I'm going to give you my answer. I am telling you right now, if the Raiders took J.J. McCarthy at pick 13, I would be devastated. And I know there's going to be some people out there that want to take him. That's fine. And I know quarterback's a need. But what I do not want the Raiders to do is fall into a trap that they have fallen in plenty of years, where they draft based on need, not based on best player available. And you can look at some other needs that they have, like corner, offensive line, and I would rather you turn your attention there instead of going out and drafting a quarterback that ultimately I don't think is going to be successful in the NFL. Now, one of the best in the business, Lance Zierlein, and this is what he has to say on the Michigan quarterback. Quarterback lacking the measurables and splash throws associated with early round quarterbacks, but possesses elements that require more study and consideration. McCarthy lacks frame thickness and a plus arm. He's fairly poised in the pocket, but is average as a pocket passer. His ball placement and timing needs to improve. His help mitigate on average operation time due to his wind-up release. McCarthy doesn't seek the play out of structure, but is fairly consistent at making positive plays when it happens and ramps up his focus late in games and on third downs. He is confident and seems to have the ability to make tight slights and digest it as competitive fuel. McCarthy should continue to improve as a passer, but he fails to stand out in many of the areas that tend to be predictive of top-level success in the NFL. And, I mean, I get it. You're going to take a risk on any player out there, right? But there's a lot of people that do this for a living, and there's some people that are right, there's some people that are wrong, but a lot of the people that I talk to and a lot of the people that I legitimately trust have that feed on McCarthy, where it is a unbelievably risky pick, way, way riskier in my book than taking a Penix, than going out and taking a Caleb. Like, I think it's safer for the Raiders to trade up all those picks and go get a Jaden Daniels, go get a Drake May, than taking McCarthy at 13. Like, that's how much I am against the Raiders taking the Michigan quarterback. Coming up next here on the show, let's get into the latest around the Florida State quarterback, Jordan Travis, who is another prospect that I think a lot of people are a little bit split on. And realistically, I kind of look at Jordan Travis the same way that I do with J.J. McCarthy, and I'll get into that here in just a moment. But if you don't know, I'm telling you right now, this will be your final day for a chance to get a Christian Wilkins t-shirt. And I know it says 00, but it's just a stock image holder, if you will, placeholder. He's going to have number 94, but you need to pre-order it now because they will go quickly. So go to chatsports.com/Wilkins. That link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. I just checked early this morning, and this, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the final day that we're able to show this product here on the show. So if you've been sitting here and you've been like, man, I do want to get my hands on one of these, now's going to be your last opportunity to do so. So again, I'm excited to celebrate Christian Wilkins. I think he's going to be an absolute dog for the silver and black. And let's face it, we got to be able to win in the trenches, and this is going to be a dope-ass t-shirt. All right, let's go to Jordan Travis here because the Raiders have a top 30 visit with the QB prospect who had a really unfortunate injury. And, this is one of those quarterbacks where I really wish that he didn't suffer the injury that he did. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Hendon Hooker's injury where you're like, all right, I didn't know how much I love the quarterback prospect, and then the knee injury happens, the leg injury, and then you're kind of unknowing like what's going to happen. I saw how far Hooker ended up dropping in the draft, and I have Hooker as a much higher graded prospect than I did Jordan Travis, who sure put up some solid numbers this past season with the Seminoles, and 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions is good, but this is definitely a guy that was able to rely on his defense. Let's go back to my man Lance Zierlein here and see what he has to say on Travis. In a career marked with challenges, Travis showed the resilience to overcome and finish his career playing his best football. He's undersized, but has an adequate arm and can help protect himself with his legs. The footwork isn't always great, but he can throw effectively and fairly accurately as an improviser. Travis doesn't usually beat defenses with pre-snap planning or eye work and can be a step slow to get through progressions and throw with anticipation. His displays good leadership and desires to take care of the football. Travis's traits don't stand out, but his mobility and continued growth as a passer could give him a shot to compete for a spot as a QB2, QB3 if evaluations of his leg injury check out. So, that's somebody who's telling you right now that, let's face it, if his leg injury checks out, he's got a chance to be a QB2, a QB3 in the NFL. And I am kind of on the same board of that. But I also know that there's value in anything. And nobody thought Brock Purdy was going to be the quarterback that he is. So I get people swing and they miss all the time. My question, though, is we talk a lot about the QBs at the top of the draft, right? We always talk about what's going to happen in the round 1 and 2, but we forget about a lot of the later rounds. So let's just say this. If the Raiders wanted to draft Jordan Travis, which round should they do it in? Are they doing it on day 1, day 2? Should they do it on day 3? If the Raiders wanted to draft Jordan Travis, to me, where you start looking at him is the 5th round. Which I don't think he's even going to be there in the 5th round, if I'm being honest with you. But based on what the Raiders potentially need, based on the injuries, and based on the skill set, and that's a lot of the times the biggest one for me, based on the skill set, I'm not targeting him until round 5. You can't look at him on the first 2 days of the NFL draft. Yes, the knee injury scares me, but even if he would not have sustained that severe injury, I'm not looking at him in the first 2 rounds. I probably wouldn't even have looked at him in the first 3 rounds, right? So it's an unfortunate part of doing this show, but it is part of the show that I have to do where, you can't always make people happy and tell them what they want to hear. And hopefully Travis doesn't watch this show, and hopefully, realistically, the Raiders don't end up with him because I do not view him as being a legitimate starting quarterback in this league. And if you're Las Vegas, you got your backup. You also have Aidan. You need to find a starter, and that's not Jordan Travis. Coming up next here, let's get into the latest around Aidan O'Connell and Gardner Minshew because I'll say there's a new-ish report that is out on both of these guys and what the competition could potentially look like, though I'm giving air quotes because it's nothing really that we don't already know. So coming up here, the latest on AOC and Gardner Minshew. If you didn't see the report, this one's coming in from the Athletics' Mike Jones, and he said that who? Yeah, I actually thought the same thing. That the Raiders, in quotes, like Aidan O'Connell, and that the Raiders are expecting a close competition at quarterback. The Raiders believe AOC has earned the right to compete for the starting job. When you read all of this, and I've seen people on Instagram, Twitter, and recently people have been throwing this in my face going, see, Mitch, the Raiders are going to go with Aidan O'Connell. If you don't look at this and go, duh, right? Like the whole joke with the dad joke of what's the most condescending bear? It's a panda. It's a duh type of response here because do the Raiders like Aidan? Of course they like Aidan O'Connell. Do they expect it to be a close competition? Of course. It's Gardner Minshew. And then has he earned the right to compete for a starting job? Yes, every single person earns the right to compete for a starting job, but there is nothing in any report that has come out that even indicates slightly that it's either going to be Aidan's job, it's going to be Gardner's job. The Raiders are still looking for a quarterback in the draft, and anybody that takes these reports and goes, I told you, Aidan's going to be the guy. I just don't understand how you could possibly wrap that around your mind. Like, the Raiders should allow Minshew and Aidan to compete for that quarterback spot. And if this is the only QBs that you have on the roster, hell, even if you draft Jaden Daniels, that's coming from me. Even if you draft Jaden, you have a quarterback competition. And if those two guys beat out Jaden, then you give that job to one of those dudes and you let Jaden or whoever else you draft learn behind one of those guys, because then if Jaden loses out to one of them, he's clearly not ready to start and you can't ruin him, right? So to me, when I think about this quarterback competition, you only have two options to start right now. No disrespect to Anthony Brown, but let's keep it a buck here. He's not going to get on the playing. He's not going to get there. AP has said that he's looking for a 10-year starter. Honest conversation, does anybody out there think that Gardner Minshew is a legit 10-year starting quarterback? The answer is no. Does anybody think that Aidan O'Connell is a legit 10-year starting quarterback in the NFL? The answer is no. If you want to go back to 2014 to 2022 of Derek Carr, 9 years, here you go. You roll with Gardner, you roll with Aidan O'Connell, but I actually want to win some playoff games. And I don't want a Band-Aid. Antonio Pierce doesn't want a Band-Aid at the quarterback spot. And I know Aidan is a slam dunk dude. I freaking love the vibe that Gardner Minshew brings. But they are not franchise quarterbacks, and they are literally the definition of putting a Band-Aid at the quarterback spot. I find it funny that people are forgetting these two things that literally our head coach said and are only talking about things that are being reported. Let's think about what is actually being said. Actions speak louder than words. I get that. These words, though, to me are very loud. So go down and predict it right now. Who's going to be the Raiders starting quarterback in 2024? Put your chips on the table. Let's play a little bit of a game here, because I think the answers that you're going to see from me might surprise you a little bit, but you also have to think about odds. And you have to think about what is the most likely thing to happen, because that's what this question is. If I have to bet, and I'm saying if I'm going to bet a legit amount of money that I could use, the person that I would be willing to bet on to be the Raiders starting quarterback this upcoming season is Gardner Minshew. To me, he is the most likely, but that is solely, and I mean solely, based off of the fact of we don't know who the Raiders quarterback in the draft is going to be. If the Raiders end up drafting Michael Penix Jr., I'm going to say it's going to be Michael Penix Jr. If the Raiders end up drafting Jaden Daniels, I'm going to say it's end up Jaden Daniels. But because we do not know who the Raiders are going to draft, or if they even draft a QB, maybe none of the guys that they like are even going to be available, then I'm going to bet my money that Gardner beats out Aidan O'Connell to get that job, which Aidan could get it, sure, but it also wouldn't surprise me if Gardner gets it. At this moment, it's a fact, because they're the only two quarterbacks left on the roster, that Gardner or Aidan are the most likely to get the job. But if any other quarterback gets drafted, which I'm hoping is one of these three, then I'm going to say it's probably going to be one of them. What up, Eric F? What do you call a no-leg dog?
Don't matter. He ain't coming.
That's funny. I'll take a drink to that.
Lord Cameron Abbott, another shot. So is this 13 or?
13. 13 shots there for me and Chugs. I would take one of your three choices. Yes, I watched and I agree. With APs to prove it years, first three, it makes sense, and we could still build this year.
We built this city.
So essentially what he's saying is something that I talked about, where if I'm Antonio Pierce and Telesco, the trade that I would try to do to move up is I'm okay moving on from any pick in 2026, because if you're able to find your franchise quarterback, then it works, then the draft picks that you gave up do not matter. If it doesn't end up working, then you're not going to have a job anyway, but you still have a lot of that draft capital this year and next year to still try to build that solid roster with that franchise quarterback. But Cameron Abbott today has been balling out, and he is clearly, and I mean clearly, the MVP
Cameron's
of today's
on
show.
One. He said, F it, I'm on one.
I mean, he's been balling out today, man. We got 610 people watching the show right now.
I got that drink. Could be purple, it could be right. Depending on how you mix that.
Keep going. Keep vibing. If you want to know what our deals are today here on the Raider Sport is every 250 likes, we're going to tell you a dad joke, which I think we could even go every 100 likes because we don't have as many people watching today.
All right, every 150 likes.
Every 100 and that's a lot of math. It's a lot of math. I'm just going to do every hundo. Every 100 likes, we're going to tell you a dad joke, which means if you laugh, you owe us a drink. Every $10 super chat that we get is going to be a beer pong shot, which means right now we owe 13. And like I said, if I make my shot, Chugs has got to chug his beer. If Chugs makes his shot, I got to chug my beer. We have a plethora, 9 beers in those red Solo cups over there. So this is like actually what I'm worried about. I was a little bit worried about the jumping jacks. This could be a disaster. I mean, that's a lot. Because if we finish all of them, we still have more shots to go. And we just got to fill up more.
What was that T-Pain line where he's like, we got drinks at the club and we drunk them?
I know what you're talking about. It's a bad line. It kind of reminds me, and there's a line that I always joke around with Alex. 2 Chainz, but maybe also known as Titty Boy for you OGs out there. He had a line in a song. It just cracks me up every time I hear it. It's
ooh, she made us drinks to drink. We drunk them, got drunk.
I mean, that's a hell of a line. My favorite with Titty Boy, a.k.a. 2 Chainz, is she got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty. I mean, what a line. Imagine you're writing down song lyrics. And you're like, all right, this is going to work.
Oh, yeah.
She got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty.
I'm in love with the bartender.
That's not the song name.
It's called Bartender.
I was going to say, it's called Bartender. It's not I'm in love with the bartender. That you're just blending I'm in love with a stripper and bartender together in one. That's another incredible song.
Ooh, she made us drinks to drink. We drunk them.
Every hundo, we add you to our bang race competition, and we do a beer bong here. It's Friday happy hour, and if you don't know what the alley-oop is, if somebody sends in a 50, and then another person sends in a 50, it's a beer bong, it's an alley-oop, and we're going to add you to our March bang race here on the Raiders Report.
Trying to do basketball-themed stuff.
Yeah, it's March Madness.
If you didn't notice, us shooting, little alley-oop,
yep,
dad jokes.
I don't really see how dad jokes is March Madness, but this is March, so.
This is March.
All right, let's go.
First up,
let's get it rolling.
Jose Delgado.
Jose Delgado.
Against
Scheffler. Chugs. Jose Delgado said it's Friday. Cheers. Jose Delgado, cheers to you, man. It's Friday.
What is that? That's 14.
Mm-hmm. We got 14 shots to go. We're going to do them at the end. 14 shots to go, which, honestly, you could give New Mexico 100 shots, and they're not putting up. I think it's kind of crazy. Everybody picked New Mexico, and Clemson is just dominating.
And I think Petey had a really good point where it's like, if you see something that's super popular of like a... Oh!
Lord Cameron! Bang!
Bang! Happy I managed to win my first race yesterday. I've been in dozens but never won cash, so maybe this March Madness will be my chance. My money is on Mitch for beer pong. Well, the thing is, it's not a competition with the beer pong. It's just every shot that we make, the other person has to drink that cup, which I guess it is kind of a competition, but it's not like
all right, how about this? Hear me out. Loser, whoever makes the least amount, got to do an extra beer bong. Whoever makes the least amount's got to do an extra beer bong.
Deal. Which I usually, whenever I play beer pong, it's usually like half full or like a quarter full. Mitch, he filled these up a lot. These are a lot.
There's 9 beers in there. There's 9 beer. Well, originally I had 10 cups, and Jeremy's like, let's add an extra row of 5.
Well, I was just like, if we get so many shots and we make them all, then...
Well, there you go.
See, we got to re-rack.
Can I get a diamond?
I will say this. Are we calling islands?
I actually think you should re-wrap.
Really? No, I mean, if I make one and I want it back and I make another, I want to be able to call Island. If I make that counts as 2. Chug's got to do 2.
My point is, if you guys are missing,
Yeah.
they ain't getting their money.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
So you re-rack constantly.
I see what you're
All right.
saying.
Here-
I see what you're saying.
Here we
Scott.
go. First race.
I see what Scott's saying. First, we got. I actually don't even know how you get dentures and weirdly a little boy on a horse. What did you look up to get this?
Nightmare fuel.
All right, I mean, I get it. This is definitely nightmare fuel. Rodolfo Kemp right now violating that horse. That is, it started off as a horse, and now you just look like an ass. Though, what is this? We just got a set of dentures. What would you rather see at night? I think Rodolfo Kemp's going to hang on. I almost feel bad for Jose Delgado. Rodolfo Kemp led the entire way. Jose Delgado got a cavity or 2. I mean, that was yikes. Martin said the teeth going to win. Have you ever seen the movie Teeth? It's horrifying.
So that one was
horrifying. Brett,
labeled-
go home. Watch the movie Teeth.
That one was labeled toy race.
Toy race? You gotta get better toys. Brutal. Rodolfo gets the dub and he advances.
Which it's kind of on par with this March Madness that we have going on right now. A lot of 11 seeds beating the 6 seeds.
Yeah. Though, Nico yesterday said that he's going to lose to D's. And if you remember, last night, Kentucky, the 3 seed, lost to Oakland.
This is the Oakland region.
It's in the Oakland region. What? Correct.
So I actually saved this one for Nico because his famous line during all of our races.
Is ass-tastic?
No.
It is.
It's hit the nos.
No, it is hit the nos. All right, fair enough. I just know he also says ass-tastic.
Feels like you're giving him an unfair advantage during this race, then.
Maybe?
Maybe.
All
Though, judging on both of these cars, I would rather drive Nico's, but that's also because I don't like the color red. And here we go.
Here we go.
The 3 against the 14 seed. I'll tell you what, this is really, really close here. D's got a slight advantage. Nico, this is where Nico likes to save up the nos here. This is where Nico likes to save up the nos.
At 10 seconds, he says hit the nos.
Dude, I don't know. I think he might have did it a little early.
Hit the nos!
I think he did it a little early. 3 seconds to go. Is he going to have enough? He does. Nico Laz with the dub.
Wow.
With the dub. That's a big win there for Nico.
That's a huge win for the program.
The 3 seed takes down the 14 seed, which means now we're going to have Rodolfo Kemp going to be going up against Nico Laz in the round of 32. Survive and advance. The next race that we got coming up here on the Raiders Report, Miggy Camacho against Anthony Parks. Anthony asked if we could update his photo.
If he wins.
If he wins, can we update his photo? Okay. I have the photo. I have the photo. Okay, wait a minute here. Hang on. See, I got the guy that makes all this happen. I got the guy working that makes all this happen. Shout out to Nico. Is he in the chat? I don't even see him. Yes. Anthony Parks. We got the image. We got the image. Ooh, it's Miggy Camacho time. Miggy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you? Also, Anthony Parks. Let me know who you guys got. Both people are in the chat right now. We're going to roll with Miggy or we're going to roll with Anthony. Type M for Miggy. Type A for Anthony. This is an interesting race.
It's a camel race.
Would you ever race a camel?
I've actually rode a camel before.
What do you think's scarier, riding a camel or riding a horse? Full sprint.
Full sprint? I mean, I would say horses are faster.
Correct.
But the only thing is, whenever you're riding a camel, they kind of have a built-in kind of seat for you because it's got the little hump.
Not all camels, but sure. There's some camels that have 1 hump, no humps, 2 humps. My lovely lady lumps. All right, here we go. 30 seconds on the clock.
Say that.
Anthony Parks up against Miggy Camacho. Big Luck says, Miggy by a toe.
Camel.
These guys got jokes. I'll tell you what, they must be running in sand. That would be scary. Being on a camel in sand.
I like where Miggy's at, though.
I do like where Miggy's at, though. I'm a little bit worried that he might fall too far behind.
Does Anthony Parks' camel have, like, jaundice? Why is it yellow?
I think it's the sun, if I'm being honest.
Oh, dude, Miggy didn't have a chance.
Bro, I think Anthony Parks. Oh, no! That's going to be close! Miggy Camacho hit the nos! Wow! Bro, I thought he was dead to rights. Left in the sand dust. And then he put on the nos. I have never seen anything like that in my life.
This is March!
Miggy Camacho.
Wow.
Holy cow, man. Bro, I'll tell you what.
Big Luck said, told you by a toe.
Dude, you're right. Big Luck was right. He called that one. If there's one thing Big Luck knows, he knows a camel toe when he sees one. Winner for Miggy Camacho and advances. I mean, what a heartbreaking loss there for Anthony Parks.
Oh, I mean.
That's a half-court buzzer beater.
Devastating for the program.
I mean, that might be as bad as that kid when their team was up 61-60 Fallon. To send him to the line to shoot two. I mean, that's heartbreaking. Miggy Camacho advances. And I just got a notification that Anthony Parks is unsubscribed. I'm just kidding. Anthony, better luck next year, man. We did get a picture.
And maybe the race that everybody's been waiting for.
Also, great sportsmanship from Miggy. Great sportsmanship, that's why we do this, right? Sportsmanship. What on earth is this?
It's an emoji race.
LA Crash Dog against 93 Nav Man. You said this is an emoji race?
They're emojis.
I mean, Nav Man's might have his Jordan game here. I mean, what on earth am I looking at here? This looks like a cracked out version of Rainbow Road from Nintendo 64. That's what this looks like. They're running on. Oh no! What are the things you get to unclog your toilet?
Plungers.
Yeah, they're running on plungers. I couldn't freaking think of it.
Crash
right
Dog Crash Dog taking the lead.
Crash Dog, but I don't know, man. Watch out for Nav Man. He just doesn't have enough in him. It's LA Crash Dog's race. It's LA Crash Dog's race. And that's a big win there for Crash Dog. No, we'll do them in a little bit. Yeah, we'll do the whole other bracket in a little bit.
All right.
All right, let's take an updated look here at the Oakland region, which, I mean, Rodolfo got the upset. Can we look at the entire Oakland region? So those are the races that we just did. The next region we got to do is the Brockton region, which not a lot of upsets here in Oakland. Patrick B., Mount Raider Moore, took down Matthew Lozano. He's going to go up against Randall Carter. Then in the next race is going to be Troy Williams up against Adriano Martinez, a.k.a. OC Raider. Follow that by the other matchups, which is Rodolfo Kemp and going to be Nico Laz. And then a big win for Miggy Camacho, and he's going to be going up against LA Crash Dog.
Wow.
Gunny's going to wake up.
Legends are made in March.
Gunny's going to wake up in about, I'm going to say 40 minutes from now is usually when he tunes in. He goes, hey guys, what did I miss? You guys can tell him. I'm not going to tell him. You guys can tell him. Yep. Mikey G says, how much money does the winner get? The winner gets $1,600. $1,600. Patrick B says, what's going on? What's going on in the chat?
He said, I'm not writing any of these. Did Patrick B get...
Patrick, did you get hacked? Did you get hacked, Mr. B? You just see Savannah's just in the other computer in the other room, logged into Patrick B. Just typing away. Oh, man, that's funny.
He said there are comments with my pictures, and it's not me.
Oh, maybe. I mean, somebody could have potentially taken your name and picture, I guess.
I don't see any of them, though. I mean...
But what I'm saying is, what if we just think it's Patrick B., but somebody else changed their name to Patrick B.?
That's happened before.
That's what I mean. It's happened before.
But...
I can't tell.
The real Patrick B. send in $100 super chat. I mean, the other Patrick B. hasn't said anything, or I mean, I haven't seen Patrick B. say anything out of bounds, though.
Well, that's why I'm like, I don't know. Like, usually you can tell when somebody's trolling. Like, it happened to Sienna it happened to Sienna, right?
Yeah.
Like a little while ago. Yeah. Dude, Florida and Colgate, that one's neck and neck. Auburn, Yale, 36-32. UConn just rolled Stetson. Sorry, Stetson. Better luck next year. Also, Jeremy, we are 9 likes away. We are 9 likes away from doing our next...
This is like Raiders Report Among Us.
We are 9 likes away from doing another dad joke here on the show, let me just get my dad joke ready.
Is this Patrick B? No, this is the Krusty Krab.
No, this is Patrick.
I have my joke ready.
You have your joke already?
Yeah.
All right, let me look here.
All right, we hit 400. I'm ready with my joke.
All right.
What do you call a fish with a bow tie?
I don't know.
Sophisticated.
Not bad. I'm getting better. I've learned the key is really biting my tongue hard. I'm just kidding. All right, here's mine.
Are we still talking about the jokes?
All right, all right, here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Why do bees have sticky hair?
Why do bees have sticky hair? Because of the honey?
Because they use a honeycomb.
Ah.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not good.
Not great. It's not great.
How does dry skin affect you at work? Can't use any elbow grease.
All right, one more. What's the most detail-oriented ocean?
The Pacific?
The Pacific, yeah. I chuckled.
OC.
Stoked that I made it to the next round. OC Raider, cheers to you. And that's now 15 shots we have. 15 shots.
Will the real Patrick B please stand up?
I mean, seriously.
If you're Patrick B, spam Patrick B. Only Patrick B type Patrick B, though. Nobody else do it.
Rebel.
Only Patrick B.
Rebel, lame, didn't laugh. How about this? Going forward, so we know if you guys laughed or not, just when we tell a dad joke, just give me a Y for yes, N for no. That way I know. If you laughed or not, be honest. Like, when I think of a laugh, I think it's a legitimate, laugh. Like, if I grin, it's not a laugh. Give me a laugh. That's what I want to know. All right, here we go. You ready?
I think so.
All right, let's get in now to the next segment coming up here on the Raiders Report, which is going to be, which I don't even remember which one it is. It's going to be right guard targets. So I did a video a little while ago around potential left guard targets that the Raiders could have.
Yeah.
And there's some new information that is out around the Raiders, what they could potentially do on the right side of the line. So what I figured here is kind of show you what the right guard market looks like for free agency and then also for the NFL draft. And once you watch this video, I think you'll kind of understand my overall message of the message that I am trying to convey here, not only to the nation, but I don't want to give away my point of making this show.
No, I know. You're just like, once you watch this show, you'll get my message around the message that I'm trying to give you of a message.
Correct. I ate a lot of food today, so I'm ready for a wild and crazy show. But That first beer bong that I did, I'm not going to lie, that hit me pretty quick. Or the boot that I did, that hit me pretty quick. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Never watch the ads from Bruce Davis. You should. It helps me out.
Some of them are really weird.
Some of them are weird. Like,
there's that video game, the video game one that always pops up.
The video game one is very weird. I always try to watch the ads because it does help. It helps us out, believe it or not, when you watch them.
It's like a sexy woman snake monster creature.
The only other one that I don't like is I don't like sad. Like, there's a few ads that I've watched that are just super sad, and you're like, I gotta watch 3 minutes of this. It's brutal, but I get it, y'all. I get it. All right, here we go. Coming up. I'll watch them since it helps you out from Bruce. Bruce, I appreciate that. It does help us out. It really does.
Christian, it might be because you have YouTube Red. Or like the premium.
Yeah, if you pay for YouTube Premium, then you don't get ads. Yep. Does that still help? From Rich?
Yes. Yes, that is the one, Patrick B.
Yes. Patrick B. I mean, bro, we were literally talking about that the other day. But it's always like that game. It's that game and different things.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yoda said the ads make me itchy.
Oh, Yoda, you're a piece of work, man. Coming up, let's get into the top right guard targets for the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, we're going to be ranking the top 10 players that could potentially start at right guard for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2024. Now, obviously, the Raiders' offensive line's got a few changes out there. We know that it's going to be Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, Andre James. Where exactly does Thayer Munford fit into all that? But recently, an article was released by ESPN outlining some of the needs that a lot of teams still have. And according to ESPN, the biggest roster hole right now for the Raiders is at right guard. Here's what they had to say. Having re-signed center Andre James and with Thayer Munford as a logical pick to start at right tackle, the Raiders need to find a veteran road grader at right guard. Greg Van Roten was the starter last year, but is a free agent, so the Raiders might be looking for an upgrade. So what I wanted to do here today is kind of show you where the Raiders' offensive line currently stands based on some of the players that they brought back / that they technically haven't signed in free agency yet, and really just show you what the market looks like right now for the top right guard prospects out there, not only in free agency, but also in the NFL draft, because I'll be real, it's not a pretty list. But one of the players that I really want you to look at here is Parham, because one of the things that I have entertained, and I think after you watch the show as well, you might be in agreement with me that the best case scenario for the Raiders is potentially to kick Parham over to the right side, where he ended up playing at least one season at Memphis. So my question to the entire nation out there is this. Should the Raiders consider putting Dylan Parham at right guard? I want you to give me a yes, or I want you to give me a no. And when I say consider, it's like, let's make that decision right now. Let's make a decision right now. Are we going to put Parham at right guard, or do you just decide, all right, we'll keep him at left guard? That's where he's played both of his seasons in the NFL. Give me a yes, give me a no, let me know down below. My answer to this one is yes. If it makes the overall offensive line better, I think it's an absolute slam dunk of what you have to do here, because what I want is, sure, you don't want to move certain players away from their positions because you don't know how it's going to work out. But for a guy like Parham, somebody that's literally played center at the Senior Bowl, left guard at Memphis, left guard first 2 years in the NFL, played right guard his final year in 2021 with the Memphis Tigers, and one of the reasons why the Raiders drafted him was because of all that versatility. So if you're like, okay, we can move him over to right guard, I do think it makes a lot of sense here for this team. But the biggest reason why I am making this video is because I don't think people understand how thin the right guard market is right now in free agency and in the NFL draft. So coming up here on today's show, I'm going to be ranking from 10 all the way down to 1, the top 10 right guards that could potentially start for the Raiders in 2024, okay? And I think after you watch this video, you're going to go back and you're going to be like, well, maybe we could find somebody a little bit different to start on that right side of our offensive line. Let's go to number 10 here on the list. I'm going to go with Michigan right guard Zach Zinter, and right off the jump, it's my show, and I'm going to cheat here a little bit. Zinter ain't playing this season. He's not going to be able to go. He suffered a really unfortunate injury for the Wolverines, but realistically, if he was healthy, he would be the top right guard prospect, I believe, in this draft. He has been a solid captain. He's been a solid leader for the Wolverines, and he's been a very reliable offensive lineman. I mean, you don't get the accolades that he ended up getting unless you're confident. So hear me out. One of the ideas that I've continuously thrown out there is, what if the Raiders want to bring back a guy like Greg Van Roten? You can sign Greg Van Roten on a cheap type of deal, then you draft Zach Zinter probably in like round 4-ish, somewhere around there. Then you let him come in, learn for a year, and then Zinter's going to be your starting right guard going forward. Just wanted to throw that idea out there. Let's go to number 9 here on my list. It is Phil Haynes. Last season, played with the Seattle Seahawks and didn't really get too many reps in. And the point of doing this show is, like, I think Zinter is going to be a much better guard than Phil Haynes in the NFL, and I don't really think it's going to be all that close. But if the idea of this show is based on this season and this season alone and starting in 2024, I had to rank Haynes higher. I just felt like I wasn't doing you guys a justice by not putting Zinter in. Haynes, if you put him in at right guard, you're not going to be very happy about the overall return on this. It would be an extremely cheap deal overall, but knowing the fact that there is a hole to be had there, could the Raiders decide to go a little bit cheaper? Let's go to the next name coming up here on the show. It's at number 8, and this time we're going to go to the draft. Dylan McMahon, who is the right guard from NC State. And I'm going to try to mix in draft prospects. I'm going to try to mix in other players as well, just for the simple fact of, like, if you're the Raiders, like, this is the one thing that you have to look at. You have to look at, do I decide to go in the draft? Do I decide to go in free agency? Or do I decide to try to kick Dylan Parham over, or maybe there's an opportunity for Thayer Munford to end up playing offensive guard? So those are the first 3 players that are here on this show. But to make sure that you guys stay up to date on free agency, the draft, we go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. You got nothing to lose. I know a lot of times when I say subscribe, sometimes people are like, well, does it cost me anything? No, it doesn't cost anything. Watch the show for a week. If you like it, stay around. If not, hey, no harm, no foul. I do want to give a shout out, though, to the Noti Gang. And if you don't know what the Noti Gang is, people who are subscribed and people who turn on that notification bell. There is a bell underneath every video that I do. You can click that and then click all. That way, when I drop a video, you get notified around it. So Madvet, Isaac Hernandez, Matt R, to the Queen, and BO3. Shout out to all y'all. And if you want to see your name here on a future show, subscribe and become part of the Noti Gang. Let's go to number 7 here on my list. It is Trey Turner, and I'm just telling y'all, Turner did not play last season, has suffered many, many injuries throughout his career, but the reason why that I have him ranked higher than somebody like Phil Haynes is because Turner did play with the Chargers for a little bit, and when he was with the Chargers was pretty solid with Telesco, did go to Pittsburgh, wasn't all that great, but if you're just looking for a veteran plug-and-play type of guard, I think Trey Turner could at least be a cheap option to keep in mind. Let's go to number 6 here. It's Landon Robinson, right guard for Mississippi State, and another big body dude. And if I'm going to look in the draft here for one of these players, like, where potentially do you grab somebody like a Landon Robinson? I'm thinking more on day 3, probably round 4, round 5. But, like, the honest conversation that I'm going to have with all of you is, do you trust a guard that you're getting, let's say round 5, round 6, to be your starting right guard this upcoming season? Because that's something Telesco and Antonio Pierce have to figure out. I know I've given you 5 names, and probably you're sitting there going, well, these 5 names are not giving me a lot of confidence. Completely agree. So the next 5 names is where I think that this list really starts taking shape a little bit. I also, if you guys don't know, want you to be able to interact with Jeremy and I on social media. We pump out a lot of content, whether that be on Instagram and on Twitter. If you don't know where to find me by now, that's probably on you. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, at MitchellRenz365, but I also want you guys to start interacting with Chugs a little bit more as well. Don't be afraid to DM him. Don't be afraid to, give him your questions as well, whether it's Raiders, whether it's Texans, NFL, college basketball, whatever. Jeremy Chugs on Twitter, and then Jeremy_Chugs over on Instagram. All right, let's go to number 5 here, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I'm just going to say Hala Vatai, who at one point was a very solid offensive guard. He can play multiple positions on the offensive line and worked pretty solid last season for Detroit. This is going to be another one of those dudes, like, at the end of the day, do you really want to roll with somebody who was not a part of this regime last year? I get it. It's a brand new offensive line with James Craig, new offensive line coach. It's going to be a whole new system. It's not McDaniels' system anymore. They're going to implement something entirely new. But is that the route that you're going to go? To me, there is a little bit of a tier break, and then the next name coming up here is more reliable. And, like, in terms of starting caliber right guards and where I would actually be like, all right, I guess I can wrap my mind around it, it starts right now. And it's going to be Mark Lewinsky, who really is not that good of a guard. He's a below average dude overall here, has played with the New York Giants in years past, has had some opportunities. I think predominantly is a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker, but you're talking about a dude that's had PFF grades of under 60 for multiple years. Again, would you just be better off rolling with the guy that's coming up here next on our list? And it's not a sexy name. It's not going to inspire a lot of people, and it's been the name that I've continuously thrown out there. Have said, I would love this to be our sixth man. It's Greg Van Roten. Like, do I know if he's going to fit this new system by the Raiders? No, I have no idea. But I also was up here on this show last year, and I said that Greg Van Roten was going to be very good, and Van Roten proved me wrong, and he proved a lot of people wrong by being the seventh best offensive guard according to PFF out of 79 guys with a 75.9 PFF grade. I think what my bigger point here is, and why I continue to throw out the name of Van Roten, is because if you are legitimately looking for a right guard, and I get it, there's going to be other positions out there, like could you potentially put somebody who's played left guard and kick him over to right? It's a possibility. However, though, there's a lot of guys that stay on that left side for a reason, because you can get paid more because of the blind side to a quarterback. And if you go over to the right side, you might not have the opportunity to make as much money through and through. So that's why I've wanted to make this video to just show y'all there's not a lot of great right guards out there, which is why I kind of want Parham to kick over to the right side, and let me go look for somebody on the left. Let's go to number 2 here. It's Christian Mahogany, and he's the right guard for Boston College. I am anticipating that you're probably going to have to get him in round 3. Now, there's some people that are a little bit lower on him overall, but if I had to pick between would I rather go with Van Roten or Mahogany, I'm telling you, I'd rather go with the younger guard from Boston College and Mahogany. And then there is a clear number 1 to me. If you are legitimately looking at right guards and right guards only, and Dylan Parham is not an option, Thayer Munford is not an option at guard, the name that you should consider is Christian Haynes, because he has played right guard. To me, is the number 1 right guard prospect in the NFL draft. Like, there's a lot of other guards that I like in the draft. They've just predominantly played on the left side. So if you're the Raiders and you want to be able to trust that the guy that you're going to be able to bring in is going to be an everyday starting right guard, is that what you decide to do and put him there? Because I know Cooper Beebe's out there. I know there's a lot of other talented guys in free agency. But if you're looking at right guards and right guards only, that's the list. And no, I'm not going to be checking it twice. So in conclusion, unless you draft a right guard in the top 3 rounds or re-sign Van Roten, the options aren't great, right? I mean, we just went through that. The options are not great. I would be more confident in putting Parham at right guard than any other player that I just discussed on that list. And it's not that I don't like Christian Hayes. It's not that I don't like Mahogany. However, I would rather us allocate some of those earlier picks and other needs that we have instead of right guard, because I believe that we can find it. On top of that, left guard is deeper in the draft. It's also deeper in free agency. Could you sign a Dalton Reisner, put him at left guard, kick Parham over? That's already a better offensive line than anything I just showed y'all right there, right? So, like, in conclusion, I know the Raiders right now have a hole to fill at right guard, but I don't want them to only just look at the right guard position. I did see this report also come out today, March 22nd, from my guy Sanjeet, that said, Tom Telesco told us yesterday Thayer Munford will compete at both tackle and guard. To me, I take it as Munford will most likely be moved to guard this year for the Raiders, especially with the new run scheme. And everything that Sanjeet says here, I completely agree with. Like, I've said on the show that I thought that he's looked pretty solid on the left side, and when he was first coming out of Ohio State, we had him graded as a offensive guard prospect, and I do think that Munford would be a better prospect as a guard than he would be a tackle. The problem is I spoke with Munford literally yesterday, and Munford told me, quote, I am staying at offensive tackle. So, like, could be him just saying, like, that's what he wants to do, and maybe, like, that's what they've told him now. But if it's true that Sanjeet's talking to Telesco, and Telesco says you're playing offensive guard or offensive tackle, or at least that's where you're going to compete for, if Munford doesn't want to do it, I don't think that he's going to be able to say, I don't want to do it. At the end of the day, I'm sure he just wants to be able to get out there on the field. Best case scenario, though, for the Raiders, overall, like, in a perfect world, to me, is if you put Colton Miller at left, okay, Then you go left guard. You keep Dillon there. You keep Andre James at center. You kick Thayer Munford in at right guard. And imagine if your offensive line, then you got a Talisi Fuaga, that you got a J.C. Latham. You got a top tackle in the draft. You put him next to that. That, to me, is a very, very talented offensive line. Mr. Chugs is back, and now we are looking at the Brockton region.
Number 1 seed, John Scheffler.
Mr. Scheffler, the 1 seed. Going to be going up against Trevor Robledo. Trevor Robledo. And then we got Isaac Hernandez going up against Lori Sandoval. Those are our next few races coming up here on the show. The final segment that we're going to do.
I think Scheffler's in the chat.
Draft targets at each position.
I think Scheffler's in the chat.
Chef, I'll make you a deal. If you win this race, Chef, and you throw in a 50, I'll do a beer bong. If Chef wins.
Wow.
You know what? New rule. F it. Let's do it. If you race and you win and you're watching the show, you throw a 50, I'll do a beer bong.
Wow.
Today only. Today only. That's a lot of rules. Sometimes you guys got to make stuff up.
Cow, elevator, you're just raising the stakes.
Honestly, I'll take a drink for that. I really tried not to laugh. That's a pretty good one. Oh, I see Isaac Hernandez in the chat. Here we go. All right, first race in the Brockton region. And if you don't know why it's the Brockton region, it's where Al Davis was born, Brockton, Massachusetts. If you don't believe me, our reliable friends over at Wikipedia would have a word with you.
I actually just put that in Wikipedia so that you would make this the Brockton region.
Really?
Yeah. Don't look it up on Urban Dictionary.
All right, random question. Have you ever edited anything on Wikipedia?
Yes.
Really? You have? I edited something on Wikipedia too, though I don't remember. It was about one of my friends in like 7th grade, and it was up for like a day and a half.
Jim has stinky balls.
His name was Ian, but it's probably along the lines of that. Probably along the lines of that.
Here we go.
Here we go. We got the 1 seed John Scheffler against the 16 seed Trevor Robledo. What's interesting though, are all the 1 seeds going to win minus Trivan? We're about to find out.
Last chance, John, if you want to throw in a 50, if you win this race, that's a beer bong.
I'm saying if he wins, then he can throw in a 50.
Oh, I thought you were saying like
in the beginning.
Before.
No, if Chef wins, if anybody wins today, your race, you throw in a 50, I'm doing a beer bong. Let's celebrate it.
All right.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. To be honest, this is how I picture Scheffler walking after a few too many boots. He's just tiptoeing. Robledo, though, looks like he hasn't missed a workout since the year 4068.
That looks like a transformer that you get on Wayfair.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if I'm Chef, I'm getting nervous. I think Robledo's going to pull off an upset over Scheffler. He is the 16th seed.
Wow.
Advances and dances on him. Trevor Robledo.
John just kind of curled up right there.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Chef.
Oh, wow.
What an unbelievable win. And for the first time in March Madness history, 2 16 seeds win. Wow. Will a 16 seed go to Sweet 16? I don't know. Imagine a 16 against a 16 in the title. I'll tell you what, we might get on TV. Sounds like must-watch television. A 16 against 16?
I mean, technically we are on TV.
Kinda. Scheffler, I'm never getting another duck race ever again. I will say, Chef.
Has Chef ever won?
I think Chef has won once. Maybe.
Oh.
Chef, have you ever won, Chef? Let me look.
So sad.
I'll be honest. The answer is no. The answer is
dude, even
no.
A one-on-one.
Bro, Chef, yep. Honestly, Chef, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. Though, Chef, only for you, I'd still do a beer bong. Let's go to the 8 and 9 seed. Lori Sandoval up against Isaac Hernandez. I know Isaac's in the chat. Lori, I haven't seen. So here we go. Good luck to all the racers out there.
Richard Jeffrey says, are you going live during the draft? We're thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely consider it.
We might go live for every single second of the draft. I don't know.
Actually, the way that we're gonna do our draft is gonna be duck races. Pick number 1. We're gonna put whoever we think's the most likely. Chicago Bears select the Boise State running back. Perfect. It's done. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Dude, Lori's getting it.
Yeah, Lori. Would you rather have the wheel of Lori or Isaac?
Oh, I think Lori's is more like off-road.
She's got cleats.
Dude, Isaac's getting left in the dust. He's not even on anymore.
Where is he? He's gone. Is this going to be a huge comeback here? I don't think he's going to have enough. He's not. Lori Sandoval with the dub. Isaac, whamp, whamp, whamp. Lori. Wow. And now she's just, I'll tell you what, usually they stop. Lori's rubbing this one in a little bit.
Victory lap.
This is on the house. Lori Sandoval with the dub.
Dude, both upsets to start off the Brockton.
What's crazy is the other region that we did, which was the Los Angeles bracket, also 16 against 9.
Really?
Yes. Also 16 against 9.
I didn't realize that.
So I'm telling you what, lot of upsets already to start here in the Brockton region. Isaac Hernandez, I'm sorry. Scheffler said he's 0 for 22. Yeah, it's not great, Chef.
But who's counting?
Yeah, I don't know who's counting. If you want, I can actually count. Oh, Mr. Scheffler. Now I'm going to do my own boot from Isaac. Oh, and Misty's here in the chat still. That's good that we didn't lose Misty. All right, next race coming up here is going to be Raider Sancho against Sean Johnson. I mean, based on what I see,
a little Olympic qualifier.
I actually like this. This is a little bit of a different one. I'm going to guess Sean has never been outside. But Sancho also looks like one of those, like, you ever look at somebody at the beach and you're like, that looks like a hot dog that's been on a sonic rotator for way too long. Sancho needs some sunscreen.
Sancho looks like that one character from Rocket Power.
I was going to say it looks like Rugrats' dad.
Yeah.
With the hair. It's interesting. Here we go. Sancho. Oh, man. Sean is off to a hell of a start here. I don't know if those are goggles or glasses.
Stroke.
Stroke. Wait a minute. Maybe Sancho's the next Michael Phelps.
Michelle Phillips.
Dude, this is going to be neck and neck here. It's going to come down to the wire. 10 seconds to go. Is Sancho going to start cramping up here? I think Sean's got him. I think Sean's going to have him. He does. Sean takes the lead. 3 seconds to go. Oh! Sancho!
Wow.
Wow. Bro, I didn't think he had enough.
Big Luck said Sean with the chug stand.
Dude. Yeah. You're not wrong there. Raider Sancho looks like he dyed his hair blonde and then jumped into a chlorine pool. What a win.
That's huge. That's huge for the program.
Oh, dude. And he advances the 5 seed, Raider Sancho, which means the next race that we're going to do, PG 2869, who is retired, by the way, Michael Gomez at seed number 13.
What do you mean? Like, he's retired, like, from his job, or?
Correct.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, PG's wife a few months ago reached out to me and said, sent him a video to congratulate him on his retirement, which is probably why he got me, little Swifty, when we met him in Vegas. Michael Gomez says, let's go. Gomez is hyped. Little, yeah.
Oh, Olympics theme.
I mean, if there's something I know, Michael Gomez and PG, this is a common appearance for them. Common appearance.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Let's go. Get it going. Michael Gomez, PG 2869. This is I'll tell you what, this one's already very close.
Ring.
I mean, they are. I don't know if you can hear them singing, but they are in sync. They are in sync. Oh my goodness, Michael Gomez.
I think in real skiing, you don't have to be doing all that. I think it's.
I agree. I think you should actually coast.
PG!
5 seconds to go. Oh man, it's gonna be close. Is Gomez gonna come back? No. PG with the dub. And Raider Sancho, winner, chicken dinner. This beer bong is for you, Chugs. Congrats on getting married, and can I get a Raiders? You know what's perfect? I got the flamingo. I'll just fill it up for you.
So here we have our next set of races. Raider Sancho going to be taking on PG in the round of 32. Trevor Robledo taking on Lori Sandoval. And then after this next segment, here are the next matchups that we have for you. James Guevara is going to be taking on Martin Elizondo. Matthew Yoakum versus Gabriel Figueroa. Alfredo Ramirez versus Yoda Jenkins, who Yoda's in the chat.
What up, Yoda?
And Rebel Montana going up against Noah Garcia.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I hope Rebel's race is a little bit better. Whoa. Oh, I didn't even realize there's a little...
If you're going to spew.
Oh, there's a little hole right here.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. But I hope Rebel's race goes a little bit better than his boot race in Vegas.
Yeah.
All right, I'll hand you this.
Have another super chat from Kent.
What up, Kent? Hypothetical. Jaden Daniels falls to 4, and the Cardinals will only trade the pick straight up for Max Crosby. What do you do?
No, you do not.
I don't think that you do it. And the only reason why I say that is because for Max to do what he did and really stand up for Antonio Pierce, I don't think that they would do it. However, though, the value is right there, man. Like, if you feel like you can get your franchise quarterback, I think a lot of people in the NFL, like if you ask all 31 NFL GMs out there, they would all say yes to this because I know how Raider fans view Max Crosby. I've said before that I would want 4 first-round picks for him, and I say that because of what he means to the Raiders, what he means to this organization, what he means to this fan base. So I hear you out. Me. I don't think that they would do it, though.
I can't do that fast. I will never be able to do the flamingo fast.
It's tough.
I always feel like I'm going to pour it on my head.
It's definitely tough, man.
John Scheffler. Now I just have to drink a lot of tequila. Navman's here. Navman, you missed it.
Oh, Navman. What up, Navman?
And Patrick B says, I'm out of here. Comments are popping up that I'm not typing out.
I'll be honest with you, Patrick B. I actually don't see any comments that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was even looking for comments before. I would say, I know you might not want to change your name, but you could go Patrick B, get rid of the period or something. But like, I'll be real, I don't really see any comments that aren't yours. So I'm actually curious of what you're talking about.
I'm a little confused right now.
I am.
Somewhere our wires got crossed. This game right now going on 4:13 between Yale and Auburn.
It's a hell of a basketball game.
And Navman, I know you're a crazy MFer. Here's the deals that we have on today's show for you. $10 super chat adds on another beer pong shot, which we're already at 14.
We could show them. So what we're doing here is we have 14 shots, Navman, and essentially what we did was, since we're doing a March Madness theme stuff, so we got all these cups. I don't know if you guys can see how much beer's in here?
Yeah.
All right, so essentially it's 9 beers in total of what we filled up. If I make one, Chugs has got to drink it. If Chugs makes one, I got to drink it. But we have 15 shots, so 15 pong balls. So I'm hoping we sink a few, and each red cup, think of it as like 3/4 of a beer. I wanted to go fuller, but Jeremy was worried of the spillage. So
yeah,
we went 3/4.
Well, usually when you play BP, you don't put it all the way to the top.
Well, of course, because when you're playing beer pong, it's usually just, quick little shot. This, though, is different. This is, if you make one, you're drinking basically a beer. It's like basically a beer bong for 10. Might be the greatest deal we've ever offered here. Some might say. 15, hard to miss. Yoda, I'm not missing. I'm telling you that right now.
He said the Raiders above Scheffler's super wasn't him. I just don't see why somebody
Patrick,
would.
But I don't understand, Patrick. I don't see it.
I see it.
For what?
I guess above Scheffler's super chat, Patrick B said Raiders.
But I don't see it.
Yo, go to the next one. The next Scheffler super chat. Now I just have to drink a lot of tequila.
Oh. I got you. Interesting. Nabman.
It just doesn't make sense for somebody to hack the. That's like me hacking somebody's account and just like tweeting out like, "Have a good day." Like.
Yeah, I don't know. No comment required from the Nav man. 50 is an alley-oop, which means if somebody throws in a 50 and somebody else throws in a 50, so since Sancho won his race and threw in a 50, if somebody else throws in a 50, that's a beer bong as the alley-oop, throwing it down. Nice little bang action. And then every hundo's a beer bong. It's Friday.
Scheffler, Rebel needs to represent the Silver and Black Hills gang.
Oh, dude, we'll see, man. I know y'all are riding high. I hope Rebel gets a dub.
93 Navman.
No comment needed.
So now we have 15 shots.
15 shots. 15 to go, which got to get loose. Got to get loose. All right, we got one more segment coming up here on the Raiders Report. Then we got 4 more duck races to go. And then we're going to get these shots going. I also have a feeling the way that the nation's going to go with our shots is once we start playing, we're going to get more. D-Rock! Draft will be good. Let's go. Dude, I can't wait for the draft, man. I have always been excited for the draft. This past year, obviously with the Raiders at 7, I was excited.
16 shots.
I have never been more excited for a Raiders draft than I am this year.
I thought the Raiders were at 6.
Last year, 7. 13 this year, 7 last season. The year before that, they were at 12. They didn't have a first-round pick because they traded away Devontae Adams. Year before that, it was 19 and 12, which was Ruggs and Arnett. Year before that was 27, 24, 4. Year before that was 15.
No, yeah, last year they were at 7.
Yeah, that's what. Exactly. Exactly. What up, Cameron?
17 shots.
No way AP trades Max Crosby for any pick. It would betray everything he believes in. AP will not betray his players. JJ went for the money, which is fine, but trading Max is a betrayal to the nation. I'm not kidding you. I know how excited people would be to get Jaden Daniels, but I am also telling you it would be, dude, it would be.
People would be pissed.
Bro, I know how much people love Antonio Pierce. If the Raiders traded away, give me a Y for yes and for no. I'm curious what you guys say about this. If the Raiders traded away Max Crosby straight up to get Jaden Daniels, let's say at pick 4.
Would you like the move? Y for yes and for no?
It's an interesting one. I said that in my mind, I legitimately think that people would call for Pierce and Telesco to get fired. I really do. Like, don't get me wrong, if Jaden ends up being that franchise quarterback, probably worth it. Whether you like to hear that or not, it's a huge risk, though. And then on top of that, I think the other underlying problem is no Raiders player with Telesco or Antonio Pierce is ever going to feel like safe.
I don't think anybody's typed in faster than Gatlin Gunn just did.
I mean, think about it. If you're the Raiders and you make that trade, no star player is ever going to think that this team has my back. Like, that's another big part of the equation.
Yeah.
Like, would you even want to go to a team at any moment you're like, I could be Max Crosby and they could trade me? And I've said this before, too. Like, I don't want Antonio Pierce to kind of fall into a trend that McDaniels did, which I know Jaden is Antonio Pierce's guy. But also, like, you know, McDaniels would kind of go get his guys. I don't want you to fall into that trap. Bring players in that help this team ultimately just that are the best team.
Which,
also, I got to go pee real quick. I know. F me. I got to pee, dude. It's going to happen. Because if I'm going to spew, I want to spew out there. I got to go.
Okay.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go take a quick leak. Quick leak. When I get back, we got another Raiders segment to go. 4 duck races, March Madness style. A little beer pong. And then we're out of here. OC! Mitch, what was your take on Telesco hire, and what do you feel now about Telesco? I'll answer this one real quick, and then I'll dash. I was not excited when the Raiders hired Telesco. I was very, very upset. And I did a video before, and he was like one of the last people, if not the last person, that I wanted the Raiders to hire. I'll admit, now going back, you do a little bit more research on a guy, and if this is the person that they wanted, and the reason why, I'm still up in the air about it, and I think every Raider fan should be up in the air about it. I'll admit right now that I've been impressed of what they have done. I think they've made some good moves in free agency. You went out, you got yourself a big defensive tackle. Your offensive line is still a little bit of a concern to me, but this defense is going to be solid. But I have always said, depending on what the Raiders do at quarterback is going to be my big deciding factor, and it was reported after that Telesco was the person that apparently made the best pitch of, hey, I'm going to be able to get you that difference maker at the quarterback position, which is why he got hired. I can understand that rationalization of the Raiders deciding to go with Telesco in that caveat of him being like, hey, you want yourself franchise guy, I'm going to go get him. Now, he's still got to go out and do it, but at the time, I did not like the move. Right now, I'm starting to warm up to it a little bit, but if you're telling me that one of our starting quarterbacks is Aidan O'Connell or Gardner Minshew this upcoming year, I'm not going to like it nearly as much. So I don't think a lot of other people are going to like it nearly as much. All right, I'll be right back. I go, Pete.
All righty. Go down there, name a player you don't want the Raiders to draft. I know it says in round 1, but just overall, round 2, round 3, whatever. Name a guy who you're like, I don't think he fits. One, I don't think he's good. I don't think he fits where the Raiders are going in the future. Let me know. And now that Mitch is gone, $10. Not only do you get us to take another shot for beer pong, but we have a shot clock right now for Mitch. Every 10 is a shot while he's gone. He decided to pee during the show. He knows the rules. So every 10, not only do you get another shot for beer pong, but also it's a shot for Mitch. So who's trying to get Mitch a little schwasty on a Raiders Report happy hour Friday, March Madness? Right now we're watching Auburn and Yale tied at 44 with 15 minutes left. Yale, got a lot of smart kids over there. I see Joe Milton. I see Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy in the chat of people that y'all... And won by Yale! Wow. 2 + 1 = 3. Yale knows how to do it. What a layup. I see Bo Nix by J-Mo, Bo Nix by Edgar. I'm not a big Bo Nix guy either. I'm not a big Bo Nix guy in my opinion. Penix, I see Caleb Williams from Raider Sancho. Let me know down in the chat. And once again, every 10 is shots. Eric with some shots. Navman with some shots. Let's get Mitch a little schwasty. That's 2 shots for Mitch whenever he gets back. How many shots can we get for Mitch? How many shots can we get from Mitch? I want it to be like that one song, shot, 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 shot. Everybody. 93 Navman with the little sprinkle of a 10-piece. That's 2 shots for Mitch. Every 10 is a shot. Mitch, LL Chugs, you love doing Mitch dirty. I love it. Raiders. That's 3 shots for Mitch. James Guevara, drink up, Mitch, and let's go Raiders. That's 4 shots for Mitch. And now that's 22 shots of BP for us, 11 each. I love it. Let's keep it coming. Let's get Mitch a little schwasty. Oh, a block by Auburn. They're up by 2. Yeah, Navman, I don't know what he's doing back there. Yeah, he must be playing with himself. Well, there's been some questionable restroom trips by guys in this office. I don't know what they do back there. But they're back there for a while. He's still not back yet, so every $10 is another shot.
I can assure you, I did not do anything weird, though there was another person. They can't hear.
No.
There was another person in the bathroom that does not work here. And, bro, I walked in and they were like washing their hands. Dude was just ripping a pen. And I mean ripping it. It was kind of aggressive.
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
One of those making it media guys?
They were making something. I don't know what it was in there, but it was aggressive. James Guevara, drink up, Mitch, go Raiders. I heard you say we have 22 shots now.
11 each.
11 each for the cup. How many shots do I owe? So
You owe 4.
I owe 4. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 tequila shots. So we don't really have any cold Fireball out there, and I don't really feel like drinking warm Fireball. So we had some tequila. I'm just going to do that instead.
I'll allow it.
Though I don't have a shot glass, which you got right out. Oh, boy. Oh, it's Friday. It's almost the weekend, Chugs. I can feel it.
Classic Harrison Graham, never bringing his charger into the studio.
Oh, man.
Classic.
Oh.
I would say that table has the biggest offenders of not bringing their charger into a studio. With Sperry and Harrison.
Well, Sperry's awful at it.
The amount of times that they're both like, can you bring this? Chase is shaking his head. That table just needs to just bring your charger.
Bro, seriously.
It's not hard.
Honestly, if I was
It's just
Sperry,
one extra thing you grab on your way to the studio.
if I was Sperry, I would hold my charger between my knees. That way he always has it.
Never fails. Anytime Harrison is live, he needs somebody to bring him something into the studio. Yo, I left my charger. Yo, my cup is out there. Can anybody bring this into the studio?
I left my headset. Can somebody grab that real quick?
I have my nuggets, but I left my Chick-fil-A sauce at my desk. Can somebody bring that in for me?
Oh, man. All right, y'all. We got 450 people here in the building, 25 likes away from our next dad joke, which I know all y'all are super excited for. But coming up here next on the show,
Draft targets.
Maybe Navman.
Draft targets for every round and position
Dude, this
in the
one,
2024 NFL
there's
draft.
going to be a lot of names, and what I'll try to do here is focus on certain names that I'm just a little bit higher on, maybe there's some other players, but I just want y'all to see how many different prospects there are, different rounds, and just certain guys that I target in mock drafts, because we always, like I said, we talk so much about the top players.
So much.
So many other guys that I think that, you could potentially look at. So that's kind of what you're going to see here on today's show. A lot of names. I'll kind of walk you through what I'm thinking with certain guys. You're going to see some names multiple times, so that's just something to at least keep in mind. You ready?
So keep it in mind.
He's keeping it in mind. All right, coming up here on the show, let's look at some potential draft prospects for the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming season. Raider Nation, what's going on? I'm excited for the draft, and if you are too, hit that like button. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to be looking at some Raiders draft targets for every round and at every position for the 2024 NFL Draft. I don't remember who it was, but I had somebody hit me up on IG about a month ago, and they said, hey, Mitch, can you give us draft targets at every single pick in every single round for the Las Vegas Raiders at every single position? Essentially, walk me through your mind in a mock draft and on players that you end up targeting. So for those that do not know, the Raiders have 8 picks in total for the 2024 NFL Draft, a pick in every single round, 2 in the 7th round. What you're going to see is players based on where I would draft them. You're going to see some names multiple times just because there's certain dudes that I would pick at, for example, 223, that I would also pick at 229 if they were available on the board. What I do want to notice, and this is a very important thing to note, when I did this, I ran mock draft simulations on PFF and I ran them on PFN 5 and 5, and essentially, if a player wasn't available to me at least 50% of the time, they're not on this list. Like, I wanted to make it realistic players, not just one time out of 10, like that's the guy I'm going to target. So if that player, if you're thinking about somebody and you're like, oh, like that's where I usually get him in a mock, cool. My situation is if they were not available to me at least 50% of the time, you're not going to see them here on today's show. If you're looking for more draft videos, personally, I've actually never made this video, and I'm excited to be able to do it, but this is why I want you guys to subscribe. This is also why I tell you all to hit me up on social media. I probably would have never made this show if it wasn't for one of our awesome viewers, but the fact that you guys take time out of your day, not only watch the show, but this is a YouTube channel that I promise you will not find any other Raiders YouTube channel that makes the audience more involved than what we do here. Plus, we're going to be live for the entire 2024 NFL Draft. So subscribe and turn on those notifications. All right, the first position that we're going to be looking at here is the edge position. And I know it's not like a big-time need for this team. We got Malcolm Kuntz, have a little bit of Tyree Wilson, obviously have Mad Max on top of that. But can you ever have enough edge rushers, especially when you're going up against Patrick Mahomes twice a year? My answer to that is no. So to me, these are the players that I'm going to target for each of the Raiders, round 1 through round 7, and let's look at the list right now. I know some of y'all are going to be like, Jared Verse for Florida State. I actually like him more than Latu, so that's why I ended up going that route. Chris Broswell is a player that I am telling you the Raiders absolutely love, and he loves Rob Leonard. When you look at Marshawn Keelan, I think is an interesting name. Gabriel Murphy is the name that probably sticks out to some of y'all, which I see Murphy. I would actually target him in round 7. Round 4 is a different player. Oh, they're twins. 2 Murphys. Okay, gotcha. So, 2 different players, Marshawn Keelan and then Jalen Green, which is another player from JMU that I also really like, and I also know that the Raiders like him a lot too, but that is the players at the edge position. Let's go to defensive tackle next up here for the Raiders, which, again, it's not a big-time need considering the fact that we already have solid players on the interior, right? Like, we already have Christian Wilkins. You brought back Adam Butler. You have John Jenkins. You're going to have a little bit of Tyree Wilson. However, though, like, I am a big believer. If you can get the best player available, I do think it's something to at least look at. So here we go. Rounds 1 through 7 here on the board. If I'm going to pick somebody in round 1, the guy that I'm going to target is going to end up being Byron Murphy. Round 2, I like somebody like Devondre Sweat. Both Texas guys, big body overall. I was very surprised, and I almost didn't do it because I don't think Brandon Fisk is going to be available. Brandon Fisk is going to be available at pick 77. But he was available to me at least 50% of the time, so therefore he gets added here. And when you look at some of these other names, again, you're just going down the board, maybe adding a little bit of depth. With how much money and with the players that the Raiders already have at defensive tackle, I don't really anticipate that they end up taking one in the draft. But then again, if there's just a really solid value, here are just some of the names that I like to target for Las Vegas. Let's go to the cornerback position. And this one, I know a lot of people who watch this show are going to be locked in because we talk a lot about the same names over and over. Quenya Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, Nate Wiggins, over and over again. But for the first time on this show, you're going to see multiple names at multiple spots because I was able to get them, and I'm a little bit higher on some of these players than what some of these mock drafts are. So for me personally, if I can get a Terrion Arnold in round 1, love it. Ennis Rakestraw is the number 1 corner realistically that I target in round 2, pick 44. And then in round 3 and 4, I'm telling you right now, I would take Cam Hart at pick 77. I'm a little bit higher on him than some other people out there, but also the mocks that I did, I was able to get Cam Hart in round 4. Better value for Hart. Same exact thing there with Nehemiah Pritchett. If I can get him in round 6, obviously I'm going to take it, but I would not be afraid to take him at pick 148. And then some of the other names down there, I know some of y'all probably see Quantez Stiggers, who is a CFL Rookie of the Year, younger player. I believe that the Raiders are going to end up meeting with him as well. Really talented player. Can he make it in the NFL? Time will tell. So let's have a game here. Give me one name. That's all I need. One name. If the Raiders draft only one corner, only one. Let's say we sign somebody in free agency, and that person in free agency could be an Xavier Howard, a Stephon Gilmore. Hell, it could even be somebody as small as just like an Amik Robertson replacement. But if you could only take one corner, who is it going to be? Now, I know some of y'all are going to say Terrion Arnold because he's the best one, or maybe it's Quenya Mitchell because in your mind he's the best one. But does that make your draft the best overall? Like when you do mock drafts, be different. Change it up a little bit because that's how you can see certain values and where certain players fall. And I think you might like a certain mock draft a little bit more. Give me one corner who you're hoping the Raiders get. Let's go to the next position here, and it's at safety. Now, I know Las Vegas has Marcus Epps. You got Trevon Merrick. You re-signed Isaiah Pola-Mao, which is a really solid move there by Las Vegas. And here's another thing that I'm going to show you that I haven't done yet. if I'm the Raiders and I'm like, I want to take a safety in round 1, pick 13, guess what? There is not a single safety in this draft that I'm taking in round 1, and there's not a single safety that I'm going to take in round 2. You just cross them off your list, you move on, right? Now, for Jaden Hicks, somebody who is a Las Vegas guy, Raider dude, Jaden Hicks would be the guy I would target in round 3. We talked with Tyke Smith at the NFL Combine. He would love the opportunity to play with Chris Smith, and that's kind of where I'm looking at him, round 4, round 5. And then Demeek Hampton, which I actually think Demeek ends up going a lot higher. However, I was able to get him in round 7. If you look at some people, they have him ranked a lot higher than other positions out there. Let's go to linebacker. It's the next one up here for NFL draft positions to look at for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I wanted to paint this picture of different prospects that you could potentially look at. In round 1, pick 13, there is not a single linebacker that is worth being drafted. Peyton Wilson is the number 1 linebacker for me right now based on Patrick Graham. This might be a little bit early for some people. The way that I thought about this was simply he's not going to be available at 77. So if I want to take him, I got to take him at pick 44. Trevin Wallace, really solid guy. Tyrus Knight, both worked with Rob Leonard at the Senior Bowl. Then you got Omar Speights, got a lot of playing experience in the UCLA and then Notre Dame linebacker. You guys already know Telesco likes those type of guys. Coming up next here on the show, we're going to be looking at the top offensive tackle, offensive guard, and tight end targets for the Silver and Black. And all week, I've been telling y'all, you want that Christian Wilkins shirt? Well, guess what? We don't got it anymore, right? Don't got it anymore. So now we got a brand new deal, and I want to show y'all some hats because once in a while when I'm at home, I'll wear a hat, and I'll always get somebody who goes, hey, Mitch, where'd you get that hat from? Well, one of the hats that you're going to see on here is actually one that I just got, and I'm pretty excited to be able to rep here on the show. But if you want an awesome hat that you see on screen, and also if you go to chatsports.com/Raiders hats, there are hundreds of different type of hats out there. Also, the ones that I'm showing you, these right here are snapbacks, and this is actually the one that I just got, my Raiders snapback. I know, though, like my dad, I remember the one time I was like, Dad, would you rock one of these hats? He's like, it's not my style. So I put one of the styles in for my dad, just so you guys know. It's not just fitted hats. It's not just snapbacks. There's trucker hats. There's all different ones. Actually, also the Salute to Service hat that y'all just saw is on sale. It's one of the only ones on sale. I want to say it's like 25, 30% off right now. And if you like the pinstripe one, chatsports.com/Raiders hats. We got hundreds, and I mean hundreds of different hats that I want you all to go look at. So go check out that link. Maybe you could find some good deals. Like I said, there was one hat that I saw was like $13. It was like a trucker Raiders for $13. Not too bad. Let's go to the offensive tackle position next up here to look at some prospects. And I really tried to focus predominantly on the right side of the offensive line. Now, some value is some value, but that's really what I tried to look at here. If I'm looking in round 1, I'm looking at Talisi Fuaga. I picked Talisi over J.C. Latham. Those were the only 2 candidates that I had. Jordan Morgan is an intriguing prospect coming out of Arizona. Roger Rosengarten, I have him up there, especially if the Raiders do decide to go with a Michael Penix Jr. Blake Fisher. Frank Crum is a name that I want y'all to keep in mind. He is 6'8". He is 320 pounds. He's got long, blonde, locky hair. Interesting dude. Fun prospect. Another fun prospect, Christian Jones out of Texas. Let's look now at the offensive guards. And I looked at overall guards, not just right guards, because I know right guard's technically the spot that we don't have right now. But I also wanted to think about the idea of, could we kick Parham over to there, maybe even kick Munford? The first name that you see, round 1, pick 13, I know Troy Fatanu has been listed as an offensive tackle. I'm telling you, I'm not taking him at pick 13 as a tackle. If he's willing to be drafted and we say, hey, you're either going to play tackle or you're going to play guard. You're going to battle with Thayer Munford, and winner gets that starting job. Loser just goes to the other position, right? Then I'm okay with this idea. Haynes is somebody that I like to look for in second round. Mahogany in round 3. Mason McCormick is a very intriguing prospect. Zach Zinter is unfortunately not going to be healthy enough to play. And then from there on out, I just went based on value. So what do you think is a bigger need here for the Raiders? Do you think it's offensive tackle, or do you think it's offensive guard? And when I'm talking tackle guard, I'm obviously talking about the right side. Right guard, or is it right tackle? Like, bigger overall need to me is right tackle, because to me it's a more important need. However, though, I understand people saying guard if they believe that Thayer Munford ends up playing right tackle this season for the Silver and Black. Let's go to the next position here. It is tight end, and I know the Raiders have Michael Mayer. You got a guy in Harrison Bryant on top of that, Zach Gentry as your tight end 3, but if you're Silver and Black, man, you got to be looking at finding somebody else that can be a tight end that might not be able to play very well in year one because tight ends don't usually play well in year one, but can get time to learn, and then he's the guy next to Michael Mayer next season. The only tight end that I'm drafting in round one is Brock Bowers, and it's not it. Like, it's not close. Round two, there's nobody that I really want to reach on. Like, Jaheim Bell, he good. Don't really want to have to reach on, or Jaheim Bell in round 5. Who the hell? Jadavian Sanders. Sorry, I was looking at Bell's name. Jadavian Sanders out of Texas. Didn't really want to reach on him, and I thought I had to in round 2. Cade Stover, really solid player. The Raiders met with Theo Johnson. And then Trey Knox is another very sneaky player to keep in mind who can run a legit 4.40 at the tight end position if you're trying to add a little bit more of the deep threats. Bottom line also, though, for the tight ends, there's a lot of talent that you can get deep in this year's draft. Let's now go to the position that I think some of y'all are excited for. We're going to look at wide receivers, running backs, and then had to finish with the quarterback spot. At receiver, you got Devontae Adams, you got Jacoby Myers, you got Trey Tucker, but you could probably add a little bit more depth. Let me just say, round 1, pick 13, I have Brian Thomas Jr. here because Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Dunze, and Malik Neighbors were all gone. I don't want the Raiders to take a wide receiver at pick 13. However, if they did, I wouldn't love it. But if you were going to do it with any player, I'd say go with Brian Thomas Jr. Troy Franklin, hell of a vertical threat there. Roman Wilson was available to me, though I don't think he's going to actually be there at pick 77. Stoked that I was able to find value in Malik Washington, Javon Baker there, round 5, round 4. Honestly, out of everything that you see on the list, Malik Washington and Baker were the two that I was most excited about. And then at the very end is Anthony Gold, just because he ran a 4.39, and I know the Raiders potentially would want to add some special teams and some speed there overall. Let's now go to the running back position. You got Zeus. You signed Alexander Madison. You brought back Amir Abdullah. You got Sincere McCormick, but you let Josh Jacobs go, right? So how do you try to replace somebody like that? So here are the players that I would target for Las Vegas. The only player in the highest ranked running back that I have is Jonathan Brooks and pick 44. I'll be real, though, kind of what I said about Brian Thomas. I would not want the Raiders to do this. However, if you were going to do it, that would be the guy that I want. Round 3, pick 77 is Blake Corum. Round 4, 112 is Marshawn Lloyd, though I will admit, I really flirted with the idea of putting Lloyd over Corum, but just because I was able to get Lloyd every single time, 10 out of 10, and at pick 112, that's why I put Lloyd there. And then starting to turn into my favorite running back prospect. If you want a sleeper running back that I want you to start doing more homework on, Kamani Vidal, the running back from Troy. And also, shout out to Chugs. He put me on to Rasheen Ali from Marshall. Solid backs there. Steele also was a hell of a back as well. Was a Feldman freak. Then, let's go to the quarterback spot, which I know, there's a lot of different options you can go with, and I didn't do trade up, so don't even think about that. So round 1, round 2, to me, the only quarterback that you can take at pick 13 without trading up is Michael Penix Jr. And I also was able to get Penix 50% of the time in mock drafts at pick 44. I'm telling y'all right now, if it came down to Penix or Bo Nix, I'm taking Penix. If it came down to Penix, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, I'm taking Penix. To me, he's the best passer out of those 3 quarterbacks, and that's what I'm going to bet on, somebody that can actually pass. Rattler there in round 3, pick 77. After that, I'm not really inspired by any of these quarterbacks. I don't think that any of them outside of those top 2 names that you see on screen right now are going to be NFL starting quarterbacks, and maybe, just maybe, you turn Joe Milton into somebody like a Taysom Hill. So let's talk about value, because I do think that that's important when you talk about the draft. Everybody wants to feel like they're getting a good value in real life and in the draft. So what do you think is the best value here? Let's say you get Michael Penix Jr. in round 1, pick 13. Or would taking Bo Nix in round 2, pick 44, be the better value? Or is Spencer Rattler in round 3 better value? Or is the best value Joe Milton, quarterback from Tennessee, in round 6? Let me know down below. My answer on this is actually pretty simple. My answer is the best quarterback on that list is Michael Penix Jr. However, based on value and value alone, I do think that Spencer Rattler in round 3 at pick 77 is a better value than what you would be able to get at a Penix at 13. And I'll also say to me, it's a better team. Like, I have the ability to build a team of Talisi Fuaga, and you get Ennis Rakestraw, and then Spencer Rattler. I like that combination a lot more than any other combination I'm going to be able to make, even if it was Penix, Rakestraw, and then if you got Christian Mahogany or something like that. Bottom line, you can make a better overall roster, and I think Rattler does have more upside at that value. Better quarterback prospect, though, still is Michael Penix to me. All right, we have finished up all the segments here on today's show. which means we have 4 more duck races and then
24 shots.
24 shots.
So each of us have 12.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
And it was 23.
It was 23 until Ultra
VAB.
VAB incoming. Mitch is gonna tipsy today. Yeah, I'm okay right now. I'm not gonna lie. Those tequila shots, they definitely hit me a little bit, which is why I always try to stay away from the tequila. It hits me totally different than Fireball. And some of y'all are probably like, yeah, we can tell. But hey, it's Friday, it's happy hour, March Madness. I'm excited for the weekend.
Cheers to the freaking weekend.
I will admit, one of my biggest worries, though, every single week is when we get to this point of Raiders Friday happy hour, is like if breaking news happens right now, it's like, buckle up.
Buckle the hell
Buckle the F up. All right, y'all, we got 4 more races for our round of 64. First round here of our March Madness
Almost
duck
done
races.
with round 1.
Almost done with round 1. Once we get down with round 1, let's just look at everything from top to bottom.
Okay.
Top to bottom, we'll look at all the 32 matchups.
First up is
James Guevara up against Martin.
little 6'11" seed.
Dude, 6'11". I'm gonna hope. I know Guevara gets in a lot of our duck races, so he is a very experienced duck racer.
Yeah.
Martin, on top of that, though, is the new guy. A lot of 11 seeds have been winning.
New guy in town. Does that help him? He's got nothing to lose at the 11 seed.
And I mean, a lot of times, that's what you look for in March. You're
Yeah.
like, I don't need to beat. What's the guy's name? Also, he's never seen Little Giants.
What?
I couldn't believe it. Never seen Little Giants. What's the Danny down the hill? Cherry Lane? What are the 2 coaches' names? Do you remember? I can't remember. That was going to be my analogy. Martin just needs to win one time. You guys know what I'm talking about? Danny's in the go-kart.
Oh, Buddy Bear's in the house. What's up, Buddy Bear?
Lord Buddy Bear. Danny's in the go-kart. I can remember that.
First matchup, and a simple question before we get started. Are birds real? Y for yes, in for no. They're charging right now on this power cord.
I'm not going to lie. This picture looks like my neighborhood I used to live in Germany. Same exact colored houses, same exact roofs.
Same birds.
Same birds.
I remember those birds.
Bro, they spoke more German than I did. Here we go. Coming up right now. Kevin.
Dude, these birds look like they are trying so hard to fly. Like they are not, it does not come easy to them.
These birds look like they enjoyed Thanksgiving and now they're trying to fly away. I mean,
I've never seen a bird so.
I'll admit, if I saw a bird flying like this, you should put it down.
I guess, effortless was the opposite of that? Effortful?
Yeah, there's a lot. They look full.
James Guevara!
It's a Guevara! What a comeback!
Wow.
James Guevara. Oh, look at that. He thought he was going to lose. He said no. Woo! James gets the dub. He gets the dub.
That's huge for the program.
I mean, survive and advance, right, James? That's all it is. You didn't bring your A game. Honestly, probably didn't even bring your B game, but it was good enough to get a dub. Got a big-time rebound, stretch the floor, coast to coast, layup, buzzer beater, win. This is March.
Game blouses.
This is March. Here we go. Matthew Yoakum up against Gabriel Figueroa, which is not going to be an easy matchup. Gabriel, old school Raiders Report watcher here. Though Yoakum might be one of the most experienced duck racers we got. Might be.
Gabriel Figueroa also won his conference tournament before this, so it's big. It's big for the program.
Why? This is March. I mean, I'm pretty sure. It's
these
the
are the
22nd.
these are the programs.
I mean, I'm literally listening to Harrison and Nick.
See,
As if they're 50 feet over there.
see, Gabriel, if I had to guess, if they're in the Brockton region, Ivy League school, Gabriel?
Yeah.
Yale?
Hopefully Rolly doesn't have his phone on over there. He's got the loudest buzzer on his, people would be jealous how much his phone vibrates on his desk. It was a loud vibration.
I almost asked him where he got it.
Dude,
Mother's Day's right around the corner. All right, here we go. Yoakum
bad.
Figueroa, 3 seed against the 4 seed. 14. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let it ride. Oh, man. Dude, this is actually a pretty good race. This is going to be close. Again, these 3 and 14 matchups have been really, really. This is a back and forth game.
It is neck and neck,
back and forth,
very long necks.
Dude, who's gonna? This is Oakland and Kentucky. You're right. I think Figueroa is Oakland.
I think Figueroa is gonna get it.
I think Yoakum's got it.
Oh, Yoakum!
I think Yoakum's got it. It's gonna be close. Yoakum. What a win.
Oh, he's just stunting on him now. Look at this.
What a win. That was a hell of a race. That was one of the best ones we've done. We should think about that one in the future.
Yeah?
Oh, I thought he had it. What a play. What a play by Auburn. All right, so James Guevara up against Matthew Yoakum, which means only 2 more matchups to go for our round of 64 March Madness brackets. I know some of y'all are probably watching this being like, what the hell is this? So every single person that you see entered this tournament, winner gets $1,600. We're doing our own Raiders Report March Madness bracket. Figured it'd be a fun little thing to do with the nation out there. So next race coming up, Yoda Jenkins, who's in the chat right now. He's going to be going up against Alfredo Ramirez.
Not an easy matchup.
Again, both. Alfredo's got more races under his belt, but Yoda is an experienced player here. Experienced racer, experienced watcher, and also a pirate.
Mm-hmm. They're actually Raiders.
Yeah, I'm not. What's that movie, Lord of the Flies? Is that the movie, right? Have you ever seen Lord of the Flies? It's a movie too. I've watched the movie. I've never seen the book.
You've never seen the book?
Never seen the book.
All right,
here we go.
I've never watched the book.
Legitimately, I think the last book I read. It's probably.
I know the last book I read.
I know the brand. They were called Magic Treehouse books. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, last.
Dude, I love those books. Loved. I don't read them anymore.
You know what? Reading.
You didn't read a book after the Magic Treehouse. You were reading those when you were like 20 years old?
No.
You didn't read a book.
From front to back.
From 9 to 20.
Front to back, 0% chance. No way.
Last book I read was the Percy Jackson. I believe I don't remember the name of the second book, but it was not the Lightning Thief. It was the second book. Good series.
I guess the other book that I read, but I don't even know if it's a book. Ice to Eskimos. It's about selling. Ice to Eskimos. Look it up. Great, great book. Coming up, 7 and 10 seed. 7 and 10 seed. Here we go. Yoda Jenkins.
Hey, look, I don't know what they got going on, but
I actually thought they were knives, but now I realize it is a telescope and a flag. Yoda's got his FKC flag.
They're Raiders.
Yeah, he's dressed like if the person from the Flintstones.
Yoda.
Pebbles. I'm worried about Yoda. Oh, wait a minute.
Ah!
Alfredo! What a comeback for Alfredo. What an unbelievable comeback for Alfredo.
Wow.
Yoda, I thought you had it, Yoda. I really did, man. Wow. Unbelievable.
That means the last matchup in the round of 64.
All right, my question now is
he here? Is Rebel here?
All right, my next question is there's a Patrick B and then there's a Patrick Breen. Which one's who? Because now there's 2. Now there is 2.
I don't know.
Oh, dude, this is interesting. Patrick B, message me on IG which one's you. Or Venmo.
Is Rebel here?
Rebel. Yeah, Marshall's not here, unfortunately. Not here. So what a big win there by Alfredo, which means he's going to play the winner of or Noah Garcia. Rebel, I'm pulling for Rebel. I'm not going to lie. Rebel's a OG here. Silver and Black Hills. Mm-hmm. Lord Buddy Bear, been busy at work, usually aren't around for the lives. Happy to catch the end of Happy Hour. Has updates on the John Gruden lawsuit. Also, as always, F Tom Brady, Fumble Brady. To my knowledge, I don't have any updates on the whole John Gruden lawsuit thing, but
he is.
I really haven't been paying attention to it.
He is coaching the Seamen right now.
That is true. It's very, very true.
The Italian seed.
The Italian steaming.
For a guy from Yale, that wasn't a very smart shot.
I see some people asking about the duck races that we're doing. So we're not doing any more entries today just because they've already filled up.
Rebel is in the chat.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
He's here. look at Rebels.
Rebel. All right, Rebel.
Why does that look like Rebel if he did turn into an alien?
You think? If that is, then that's his dad. That's his dad. Noah Garcia, Rebel Montana. Mo, excited about the next round in March Madness. When is it? Also, I still have hopes on Jaden. I still got hopes on Jaden until that fat lady's singing. I'm always going to hold out hope for it. The next round of 32 for us is going to start on Monday. So we'll go through the round. Monday, Tuesday.
And then we should be done by next Monday.
Well, I kind of wanted to keep it with when they actually play the games. I mean, I don't know when the Natty is. Because I was telling him, I was like, I kind of want to go live for the national championship game. And then we do like the championship duck race at halftime of that game. It's always on a Monday. Would you guys be down for that if we went live for the Natty for March Madness and then at halftime
what if we said we were going to do it and then we just weren't there because it's April Fool's?
Is it? Dude, that would be a hell of a joke. Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to say, usually they add an extra weekend. This entire March Madness is just a big old April Fool's joke. Nobody's going to win any money. Sadie needs a new car. All right, coming up here, 2:15. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's ride. The 30-second matchup.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I feel like his arms are moving the wrong way. I mean, you're going like that. I feel like it's easier to go like this.
Oh, I don't like where Rebel is right now.
Yeah, I'm nervous for Rebel. Noah's even got that little look on his face right now. Dude, this is going to be close. Oh, Rebel.
I'm sorry.
What a collapse. What a collapse. Noah Garcia with the win.
Wow.
Dude, the 16 and the 15 advance. Brockton, tons and tons of upsets in the Brockton region. Rebel, best of luck to you, Rebel. Also, we're at 26 shots at the end of today's show. So, Jeremy, real quick here, I want to go through the full 32 for starting on Monday. We got David Zahn in the Las Vegas region. Going to be going up against Jake Ramiro, the 9th seed. That game is going to be followed by Joshua Melton going up against Julian Rod, who got a big upset over Nathan Wolf. Jason E.B., Matt Fluhey, a little chalk there, but two very heavy hitters. And then Amy, can she upset Ira Jackson over in the Las Vegas region? Let's now head over to Los Angeles now, where we got Paul Ruiz, who took down the number 1 seed Trivan, going to be battling up against Jose Corona, followed by a very solid 4-5 matchup at Scott Eckert and Rob Favor. Both have been very hot recently in some duck races. Then let's head on over to Los Angeles again. Mo Chavez, Justin Gilbert, followed by my dad up against the jersey that I'm wearing right now, Lord Cameron Abbott. Hopefully you guys know who I'm rooting for. Let's now go to 1 through 8, which is Patrick B. going to be going up against Randall Carter, followed by Troy Williams and Adriano Martinez.
A.K.A. OC.
A.K.A. OC Raider. Also, I now know who the real Patrick B is. Rodolfo Kemp going to be going up against Nico Laz, which Laz had a really solid race against Dees, and Rodolfo had a huge race against Jose Delgado. Miggy Camacho, LA Crash Dog, low-key, might be my favorite matchup here in the round of 32 in Oakland. Then you go to the Brockton region, another 16-9 matchup. First time in March Madness history that 2 16 seeds advance. Then you got Raider Sancho, PG 2869. Very, very good matchup on top of that one. James Guevara against Matthew Yoakum. And then to round it out, Alfredo Ramirez and Noah Garcia. Right now, the region that is the most peculiar to me is the Brockton one. You got a 16 and a 15 advancing.
I will say that my Raiders Report bracket that I made has been busted.
Yeah, it's not good right now. It's not good. I had all the 1 seeds winning. I did not put in for any 1 seeds losing.
Gabriel said, "How do I super chat?" It's the little rectangle underneath the comment bar, and it has a $sign in the middle.
Rebel Montana, release Marshall from duty. He's off today.
Lord Cameron Abbott, Dave Chappelle's show sketches are the best. Absolutely love him.
Dave's hilarious. He might be one of one.
You already read this, but got to shout out my guy, Lord Buddy Bear.
Mr. Buddy Bear.
Mo.
Yep, I said this one too. We're going to be on Monday. Rebel release Marshall from duty. He is off today, which Jeremy means this.
We're to our shots.
We are to our shots. So here's how this is going to go. We have 26 shots that we got to take.
Yeah.
I get 13. Jeremy gets 13. Every one that we make, if I make one, Jeremy's got to chug the beer. If he makes it, I got to chug the beer. Every 10 that we get is an extra shot. Yeah, that's true. Go get your headset. Are you going to be hooked up here, or you can just hook up right there and we can both stand here? Cool. Gotcha. All right. Oh, thank you. All right, so again, what we're going to have, we got 2 ping pong balls. We have 15 red solo cups ready to go. And I want to say I filled mine up with Miller Lite. I think Jeremy filled Coors Light on the back. So the back 5 are Coors Light. And then I know the first 10 they're mainly Miller Lite, though I did see him at the end kind of topping a few off. You use Coors Light, right? You use Coors Light, right? Which one? You use Tecate? I was like, we have Tecate? I don't think I've ever seen that one. It was Coors, though, right? Yeah, I would say. I used Miller. He used Coors. I'm a little bit nervous if one of us catches a hot hand, how quickly this can turn. Because I'll be real, I didn't know if we were going to get 26. Cameron Abbott kind of got this whole party started. Raider in PA, what's your area code? Though I recognize your picture. Oh, crap, who is that? What's your area code, PA? I'm from the 570. All right, so we got our cups right here. Do you want to do one, like I shoot one, then you shoot one, or how do you want to do it?
I was going to say like normal rules. I say you shoot 2.
Okay.
And then we'll switch and then I'll shoot 2.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to walk over there, though, because of my headset.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm connected here, so we would always have to switch headsets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, are you okay with wearing my
I'm
headset?
fine with that, yeah.
I can't wear your headset, so.
All right, if we bounce it in, does that count as 2?
But we have to keep track. So we each have 14,
13.
We each have 13 shots.
Okay.
So we have to make sure we're counting. Count your shots that you have 13.
Yep.
And I'll count mine.
Well, it makes sense.
Yes.
We also, Robert Jansen's here, so we should be pretty good. Oh, Raider and PA from the 814. I feel like I need to wet my balls here a little bit, but
I say also, yeah, maybe.
I don't have anything to wet the balls with. Oh wait, I got an idea. Brett might not like it, but we're gonna roll with it.
I don't hate it.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. I would say, like, where your
The rule.
yeah, I was gonna say where your mouse pad is.
Yep.
That would be for bows.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair. All right, y'all. So if I sink this, Chugs owes a drink.
Whatever's in there.
Bro, I'm going in the middle, just so you know. That wasn't, dude, these ping pong balls, that was brutal.
That's 1 shot. 2
Ah!
shot. Here we go.
2 bricks, man. Absolutely brutal. Absolute brutal. I don't know how you I don't even know how you miss when you have 15 cups in front of you.
Okay.
I will say, though, it's not like we got to get better ping pong balls.
Did you wet them?
I did, but they're like light. They're like very, very light. Dude, this.
All right, here we go.
This smells like a frat party. My good dude, your mic is loose.
What do you mean?
Feel this part of your mic next time you come over here, and then feel mine.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's.
Well, because I got the hand-me-down mic.
You got a hand-me-down?
Yeah.
This was Tom's mic back in 2016.
Gabriel says just got out of school but been listening to the show. What's up, Gabriel?
What up, Gabriel?
All right, here we go. My first 2
Chuggy Boy.
shots.
Here we go. March Madness, baby.
Oh,
It's just too much man. Ah! 0 for 2. This is bad.
This could get embarrassing really quick.
I'll say this. If we don't make any, we have to drink everything.
Deal.
All right. If we don't make any, we got to drink everything.
This could get really embarrassing really quick.
Okay. Do not. Drink it. Take it down. Pass it around. Number 1 for Chugs. Pick number 1, my lord. Pick number 1, my lord. Empty. All right. Let me wet my ball here a little bit. If I make both, do I get it back?
No.
It's not fair.
Not fair.
Oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Of course you get the front too.
We're dripping.
Of course you got the front too.
I mean, why not? It's there. Oh, dude, I'm feeling good now. This is about to get dangerous.
All right.
This is about to get dangerous for Chugs. 2 for 4. How about this? Hand me that Happy Dad over. Happy Dad. It's not going to be as full, but. All right, so I got 9 shots left. I also saw that somebody sent in a 10. So I want to get through our first 13, and then we'll look at the new shots.
Okay.
Because I'll lose track. All right, I got 9 shots left. Oh, too much man. He's got to find it.
Oh my goodness.
He can't find it. Oh no.
This is
Oh,
just
no.
awful. This is awful.
I'll tell you what. My team, we're advancing. We're going to advance here. Howdy. All right, 9 shots to go. Oh, God.
God.
Bitch cup. Let's go. I'm hot. 3 for 5. That's Chug's idea. You got it.
Oh, God.
You got it. Dude, I'm hot right now. You just got to keep feeding the hot hand, Triz. Hi. Oh. It's the wind. It was the wind. There's a dog barking in the bushes. Where is it? It's gone now. It's gone now. I mean, I could probably put this one back. There's nothing in it. I'll drink another one.
Of course it hits the middle cup.
Rim job. Oh, no.
Dude.
Bro, I don't know. Are you getting nervous? A little bit. Are you getting nervous? I'm feeling good.
A little bit. I feel like I'm hitting cups. They're just hitting off the rim.
Oh, man. All right, so we did 6.
Yes.
Which means 7. 7
This
left.
is 7 left.
Back up. Oh,
God.
that was just splash. Oh, sir. You're blue. Blue. I don't know. Are these regulation sized? I don't know, man. That was close. 4 for 8. You need to come back here. You need to come back here. Wait, I'm gonna add just.
It said more arch, Chugs. All right.
You gotta arch your back while it's flat.
I just realized also, while we're shooting, we're not even on screen.
No? I mean, I am. You got to move up closer then. There you go. Yeah, you got to be on screen. Oh, dude, you're all over the rim. Ah!
Oh, thank God. If I didn't make one,
Yeah, I was going to say, we're in trouble.
if I didn't make one, that was going to be an awful showing for me. Yale up 73-72. All right, that was 7 and 8.
Yep. Dude, I was getting nervous for you.
I know.
I mean, I feel like if you wouldn't have gotten it, it would have had to be a naked lap. Close your eyes, DK. Naked lap. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm on screen. Oh, oh, Mitch! Lost it. Remember, whoever doesn't make the most does a beer bong.
Oh, I forgot. I know. Is that 9-10 for you?
Yeah, I got 3 shots left. I'm up 4-1. You really need to convert some of these. I mean, you need 2. You definitely need at least 1 on the board. Ah! All over the rim! He's all over it!
Oh, having that empty one there is just brutal.
Danny's a lucky woman. That's all I see. Wow. Raider and PA, bad showing. It's definitely not a great one. Definitely not our best showing. I'll say that.
Need some liquid in some of these cups.
Well, yeah.
That middle one's screwing me with no liquid.
I don't think it's the liquid. I think you're just rimming it.
I don't know.
A lot of rim there.
I don't know.
I hate to break
3
it
more
to you.
shots left.
This is too. I mean, these are going to be so wet. Ah, dang it. Wet. Yep, 5-1. It's not looking good for Chugsy. It's not looking good for the old Chugster. And he takes one down, and he passes another one around. Oh, God. I mean, I might put me on the wall.
All right, well, we just got, that's 3 more shots for us after we do this. So
3?
Gabriel just sent in a 20.
Ooh.
He said, hello, Mitch and Chugs. Can I get your guys' thoughts on QB Davius Richard out of North Carolina Central?
Right now, the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
I will do some homework, though. I like these questions on a Friday. I'll write them down, and then I'll take a few notes, and then we'll figure out which ones we're going to end up doing.
Yeah.
All right, Chugs. Oh, my God.
Dude, I am just getting... Oh, ball's back! Rodeo!
Rodeo ball's back. You know what? I'll allow it. It's a free shot on the house. Holy shit, that was close. Dude, I was going to say, because the last time we tried it behind the back on this show, it hit off a light, and I had to drink my own. Oh, that was a big shot. Happy dad.
Needed it. Absolutely needed it. James said, drinking one with you guys. Thank you.
Mr. James. Mr. James. Shout out to you. All right. We got 3 more shots. We each have 1.
Yeah. So now we each have 3 more.
Is that math?
We got 4 more shots.
So we got 4 more shots.
So we each had 1 left, but now we had 2 more onto that.
Okay, so we have 3. Got it. Got it. Here we go. Oh. Oh,
Ooh.
Man.
That was huge. That was huge for us at Chugs U.
Come on, man. You got it. Call your cup. It counts as 2.
Call my cup. It counts as 2.
Call your cup. It counts as 2.
4th row.
What?
4th row.
This guy?
1 more over.
This guy.
Yes.
That's the one you want.
Yes.
Oh! Chugs! What a huge shot! Unbelievable!
This is March!
It's 5-4, Chugs. Which one do you want? You tell me what other one I'll drink. You pick.
I'm going one right next to it.
Well, no, I got to drink. I said I would do 2.
Go back one. That one, yes.
This guy.
Yes.
All right. Dude, What a shot.
It's been a rough stretch here. I've been rimming out a lot. It's been tough. It's been tough.
Dude.
Same deal. If I call it out, is that 2?
I'll give it to you.
Really?
Let's make this a game.
All right. Second row on the right.
All right. Second row. This guy.
Yes.
To make it 6-5. This is a huge swing. A huge swing.
Oh. A 6-4.
5-5.
Oh, 5-5. Oh, really?
Well, I was winning 5-4. You didn't make it.
Oh, no, yeah.
My question is, does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah? Does it count? Y for yes, N for no.
If it does count, what would it be?
I don't think it counts. Because my point is, that would be like you calling Island and making another cup.
Yoda says it counts as 1. Taino says it counts. Robert says it counts. So does Matt Fluhey.
I think you guys just want me to drink. That's what I think it is. Cheers. 5s.
So it's 5-5. Mm-hmm. And how many shots do we each have left?
Uno.
1 shot left. Holy shit.
1 shot. 1 opportunity.
All right. No pressure here, but we each have 1 shot. It's tied 5-5.
This is big. This one's big, man.
This is March.
I'm not gonna lie. If I miss this, I'm gonna hope somebody saves me. Come on. Oh man, hang on. Trinity, you live in Towanda. That's crazy. So funny story, Trini, about Towanda. When I was 10 years old, I was our Pennsylvania state champs for baseball. 10, we played in Towanda. So Towanda actually has a very special place in my heart. All right, Chugs, 1 shot.
Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself. Oh, I'll drink that one.
Pick another one to drink out of. Pick another one. That was big.
The real question is if I make mine, then what happens?
If you make yours, what happened?
What happened?
Holy March Madness.
Are y'all watching the Yale game? Are y'all
No.
watching the Yale game?
No, they're not. They're not.
What are they watching?
I can't figure it out.
What game are y'all watching?
Florida and Colorado. 102-100. Colorado beats Florida. Wow. Auburn just, hang on a second. Auburn just chucked up a 3. They're going to get the ball back. Lays up, misses it. Get the rebound. Yale gets the board. Auburn fouls with 13 seconds to go.
Yale might be moving on, folks.
Let's go, man. I know I took Auburn pretty far, but like you got to love those type of upsets. All right, here we go. Here we go. If Jeremy misses, I win. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Loser does a beer bong.
Yep.
Here we go. If you make it, then what?
If I make it,
Well, I think we're all right, but... Or how about this? Final offer. Final offer. You make middle cup, you win. I do beer bong.
if I make any of the other ones, then no.
Then no. If you make middle cup... Actually, you know what? I'll let you go. You can pick any one. Minus front.
Do I take the deal? Because if I hit it, then we're tied.
Well, no. If you make it, you win. If you call your cup, you win. I do beer bong. If you make any of them, yes, we're tied. We advance.
Okay. I'll go with the same cup that I did last time.
So this one.
Yeah.
You make this.
Is there any
you win.
liquid in that cup?
No, I can add some.
Okay.
You make this, you win. I do beer bong.
All right.
If not, it's a big L. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, that was too fancy.
Oh! Are you kidding me? Whoa! Whoa!
No way!
Whoa!
A comeback for the
Let's
ages!
go! Let's go!
A comeback for the ages!
Are you kidding me?
Bro, that's the
Do
cup
you believe in miracles?
That's the cup you got to target every
Whoa!
Unbelievable shot. Unbelievable shot.
What a game. And yes, folks, I know we've said it 1,000 times, but this is March.
And why you subscribe?
Oh, my
Bro, I'm
goodness.
telling you what right now. Whew. Man, oh man, oh man. That was a big shot. It even rattled on the rim a little bit. It even rattled on the rim a little bit.
Oh, my goodness.
You're good. I can get over here.
Oh, no, I got to go get your...
Wow. Oh, yeah. Unless you guys are cool with, I could just drink one of those or 2 cups. Like, we're going to have to throw them. We're not drinking all them. How many do we have over here? Yeah. We probably, there's a good amount over here. All right. This is the most full one. This is the most full one. I'll tell you what. I cannot believe. Hang on. Let me take this one off. Lord Cameron Abbott. Why did I give him a chance to beat me? In all honesty, I would have rather it be like all in, like one shot. I think that's what March is about. But on top of that, I didn't think he was going to make it again. I really didn't. I didn't think he was going to make it. And also, I think I'm a little bit more litty-titty than Chug, so I knew the game had to end for me quicker. Dude, I want to see it. Wait, rewind it. I want to watch it. Rewind it. So Chugs has got it on his screen. I want to see it in live. Dude. Oh, man. That's iconic. That is iconic. Dude, this is March. That was awesome. All right, y'all. Cheers.
Electric Factory.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, there's still a little bit. Dude, it's also...
Oh, 3! Oh, Yale wins.
Oh,
dude,
my Lord.
Auburn just choked. They had 2 chances to win.
And honestly, good looks. Had some pretty good looks on top of that.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, though, good for Yale. That's a big win there for Yale. Second NCAA tournament win in school history.
These were the super chats that came up while we were shooting.
Oh, man.
But I mean,
wow, what a game.
Absolute pandemonium.
Hang on. Okay. Gabriel, I promise you, I will look into this question. I'll look into it. Hit me up on Monday. Just be like, hey, it's me again.
We don't want to be disingenuous and be like, oh, yeah, good guy.
No idea. I
never heard of Davius Richard in my life.
Never heard of North Carolina Central. We got James Guevara. Appreciate you. Mr. Cameron Abbott, who, can we all give a huge shout out to LCA today, was by far the biggest MVP on today's show. And I know that March is going on. You guys got a lot of other stuff going on as well. But the fact that people take time out of their day every single day, not only to tune in, but also participate with us. It means a lot. So, Cameron, shout out to you, man. Seriously, it's greatly, greatly appreciated. Raider in PA. What's up, my man? From the 814, which I don't know if I know that area code. Do you know where Danville, PA is? Choco Bear. Hope you all haven't forgot who the coolest cat rep in the 307 is. Dad says, I got to say, F Tom Fumble Brady. I'm telling you right now, I saw a television show. It was like, it's called like Stupid Pet Tricks. Stupid Pet Tricks. If you could teach Choco Bear how to say that, you're going viral.
So he said, I could pick whatever cup I wanted, and if I made it in that cup, then I win. So I picked this cup right here. Wait for it.
I hate to spoil this for you. You probably already know how this is going to go.
You're probably going to make a different cup.
Just watch.
I'll tell you what, and I was winning big. Chugs made a few clutch shots. He already made that cup today. You got a little
You should have known after I tossed it.
Dude, I thought you got too cocky, though. Like, when you did the underhand.
Oh. Shoot, soldier.
Oh!
93 man!
Bang!
Oh, shit. May as well go ahead and mash another one, Mitch. By the way, if any thoughts of us trading Max for picks is absolute lunacy.
Oh, that blows. I think. Oh, wow.
This one is the next most.
One of the Auburn guys hurt his knee on the last possession.
Oh, bro, that's devastating.
He's literally, while they had the last shot, he's holding his knee on the ground.
Can you guys see how much is in here? Maybe. I don't know.
I'm
just going to drink out. I don't want to drink it. That flamingo sucks. I'll say it. It sucks.
Someone had to say it. You already read this one, right? Mm-hmm. Lord Cameron Abbott. Mitch, why give him any chance? You already read this one, but just wanted to put it up on screen for Lord Cameron Abbott. Raider and PA, if we trade up and lose number 44, what position should be targeted at 77?
Oh, well, in this scenario, you're trading up for a quarterback. Like, if you're the Raiders, you're not trading up for any position outside of QB. It doesn't make sense for you to do that. So, with that being said, if you draft a quarterback at 13 or you trade up for a QB, I'm saying you're either looking, depending on who that quarterback is, I'm going to probably look at an offensive lineman to upgrade my right guard position. I think you could look at linebacker.
Yeah.
Could be a position to look at. Corner, because then all the corners probably aren't in a great spot. Maybe somebody like a Cam Hart. But I'm going to say corner, linebacker, offensive line would be the top positions that I personally would target.
Crash Dog.
Gunny, what up, fam? What did I miss? Am I still in the tournament? I told you. What time is it? I was a little late.
Yes, you are still in the tournament.
You got the dub, Crash Dog. You got the dub. Though he's going up against Miggy Camacho.
I think so.
I think it's Miggy Camacho. So good luck to you, Crash Dog. Frank Perez, absolute legend from Phillipsburg.
That's the last one we got.
And that is the last one we got, which means, oh, man, it's closing time here on the Raiders Report. The next time that you're going to see Jeremy Chugs and I, it is going to be, he is freaking out. Did they win? Oh, this game's still going on, Nebraska.
It's
just
going
started.
on right now.
I was like, holy hell. Next time you guys are going to see us is Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Shout out to everybody that showed out, had some fun today. The beer pong was a good idea. I think we might try to do that again. Would you guys be down for the beer pong again? I had a lot of fun with that.
Dude, Sam, you got to watch this.
Electric Factory. Though, hear me out. What if we played?
So he told me to choose a cup, right?
Yeah.
And if I was one behind him, and he said, "You choose whatever cup. If you make it, you win." I chose this cup right here.
Not quite. Bro, it hit. I'm not kidding you. I don't know if you can see it. It hit the rim. It like goes around the rim. Oh man, that's funny.
That's the shit you live for right there.
That's funny as hell.
I was a little hype.
A little bit hyped. Yeah, we have a few ping pong balls.
Sam, you wanna try a shot?
Quick shot for
wait.
for the Sams.
Yeah,
All right, they're a little scattered.
This formation might be DNA. I don't know. What?
Can I get a re-rack?
Re-rack X chromosome.
We're going to go the back, so this row right here.
You're talking to the wrong guy. You can shoot it.
We're going to go for this one right here.
That guy? Oh,
All
see,
right.
that area has been dangerous for me. Ah, he should have just shot. Should have just shot.
Woo.
Oh, boy. All right, y'all. I'm heading out of here. Have a hell of a weekend. It's March. From me, from Jeremy Jugs, from Sam, the entire Chat Sports crew here. I love y'all. I'll see you Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. If any breaking news happens, I'll be back. But until then, have some fun. Have a good weekend. I'm out.